This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, that's on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
Hi, this is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, man. I'm Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just here, quarter zipped up on you boys, and just out here, doing the damn thing. We got a lot of different things to talk about. A lot of this is a James Boyd production kind of right here.
I mean, not really, because I was like, hey, we should talk about the Diddy thing. That's not interesting. And then I was like, I went to go watch it today. I was like, oh, it's 4 episodes in an hour. I don't have the time for this. So when we get to that, I suggested it, but you on your own, Rich.
Well, I got a lot of thoughts. But yeah, man. I just breaking news before the show came on air. Apparently, I can't even say his name. Hold on 1 second. Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa died, also known as Shang Tsung to most of the Mortal Kombat fans, and he was in a lot of other stuff as well. But he was the 1995 Shang Tsung. They brought him back for Mortal Kombat 11. He essentially carried that shit on his back. He was amazing still. This is one of my favorite actors ever. He's 75 years old and he died.
So coming back, what did he do in this newest version?
So he was just more evil and more untrustworthy than ever. And then this is before Zesty Shang Tsung. So Zesty Shang Tsung is some new shit.
Excuse me?
Zesty Shang Tsung. So
I don't know what that means.
Okay, so after Mortal Kombat 11, that's the end of the next timeline where they reset it again, and it basically restarts at the end with Shang Tsung, this chick called Chronica who controls time, and Liu Kang. So the next one, the Mortal Kombat 1 that you ever hear us talking about, that's the new storyline, the new one. And Zesty Shang Tsung is like a meme thing that arose because he did a bunch of funny shit, and it's a new character or whatever, kind of new person, new face design and everything. But Zesty Shang Tsung is hilarious. We've talked about it before. You probably just don't remember. But
okay.
But the Shang Tsung that this guy did, he was just like, oh man, Mortal Kombat 11. It's hard to really explain, but it was it was like a two timelines converging type thing, and Shang Tsung's evil in all of them. Let's just say that. So no matter where he was in the world, he was gonna come up. But as far as the actor, he was awesome, man. He was your soul is mine. That's iconic.
Okay, I remember you when we talked about the latest game that came out. I think it was about a year ago, right? You had told me about multiple timelines where they rebooted the universe or it was converging or something like that. And it's this full on comic book shit. So it happens. That's what science fiction is. But yeah, Rich, I have the list of stuff. But you order however you want to order. Where do you want to go first?
We've got to start with your boy. Hold on, Chris Paul, and it's the end of days for him in potentially the NBA. So Chris Paul, they told him at 3 a.m. apparently to go ahead and go home. Your
Mm-hmm.
services were no longer needed in the community. And they sent him packing in just an all-time embarrassing, disrespectful kind of way that was just like, you don't treat someone like this. Like this is like we see we always hear the horror stories about guys, going out the league. If this happens to be it for him. This only, like I remember when Stephon Marbury was out of the league or heading out of the league, it was like telling him to, he was showing up to road games and shit, like where the team was going. They were kicking him out. Carmelo Anthony, they basically just pull you in and be like, you know what, you're not going to play no more. Chris Paul, man died as he lived, essentially, out here. Like, it don't, like, all the reports and stuff don't really sound anything different than Chris Paul has ever done throughout his whole career anyway. But I guess it hits different when you scoring 3 points a game right now, and it's like, he's 4 years old, but this is fucked up. Like, this is an all-time franchise icon. This is just a way, like, where you think about, like, the whole thing during the summer where we heard he was going to retire. Then he, like, announced it again, kind of, and it was, like, weird. And then, like, they let him play that game in North Carolina, like, a week and a half ago, which was, where he's from and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just decide now at 3, like, don't even come back. You're not released, but don't even come back. What did you make of when you seen all this, James? I don't even like Chris Paul. And I was like, this is fucked up.
When I first heard it, I was like, what is going on with this franchise? Their season's been in the shit, like they won that game in Atlanta, but Atlanta didn't have Trae Young, and I think someone else didn't play for Atlanta. But like I think they're now 6-16 or 6-15, something like that. And it was like this was like the year where it's like they have all these veterans, and like this year where everybody, the clock hit midnight, everybody that was a shiny, everything turned to a pumpkin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like last year, we knew Chris Paul was no longer an NBA rotational level player. Like we saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Like granted, like we think like Stephon Castle will be a really good player in the NBA. But even still, even as the backup, it was like, nah, he just no. Like outside of him being a basically staple to like Wembanyama, like it wasn't going well for him. So it was like, okay, that probably should have been his last year. But he decided, let's do the Clippers thing. He is arguably the greatest Clipper ever. There's only 2 guys right now that you would be like, all right, we're going to retire anybody's jerseys. They have no retired jerseys. The 2 numbers would be 3 and 32. Would be him and Blake Griffin. And I don't. It's kind of like almost poetic that is like they traded Blake Griffin like 5 months after he signed it, re-upped on that deal and shipped him off to Detroit, and then now Chris Paul he signed up and within 5 months he's already gone. These are 2 dudes that like eventually be like, hey, have time for go get your jersey retired. These would be the first 2 guys you ever pick. Like maybe they get to Kawhi's number 2 eventually. I somehow doubt it, given what's going on. But it's crazy that like this is how it ends, or this is how we believes it ends, because like I don't see any reason why we come back for another year for that. Like nah, just take it to the crib. Like they're paying you to go away or whatever else, and like. It's really funny because like he's one of the guys that like you think that out of the group of guys or stars that we saw, like who's most likely, obviously the point guard thing was like who's likely to end up on a bench somewhere coaching, it'd be him. And like to him go out on this way, it's going to be really weird to see like if he decides to stick around the NBA in some way post playing, how's this going to rub off when like you got Ty Lue, Jeff Van Gundy, Lawrence Frank, got NBA lifers in this circle. They got intel on spilling all this. Obviously, Chris Paul does too. But it's like, how's it going to work in the future? Because if he's going to be a head coach, it's only going to be 5 years before he's going to be, teamed up with one of these people again. Because that's how it works. Because you got Chris. I mean, you got beef between. We talking about this off air, like the Jason Kidd and Lawrence Frank stuff. that was happening in Brooklyn a decade ago, and they just happen to still be in the league. And I'm sure see each other at different places and at All Star, whatever else, and these other functions. It's always weird. It's always strange how this works, and somehow they gonna bury that and be like, there's water under the bridge, whatever else. But I guarantee you, in his heart of hearts, he's like, if I can get away with put Saki right in your throat, I do it, but I can't. And then, man, it's funny for somebody that everybody, regardless, even the biggest Chris Paul hater, and you're not one of them. You're just one of the haters. Even the biggest Chris Paul haters are like, I can't believe it's going down. For DeMarcus Cousins, they'd be like, the dad would be like, yeah, man, this is some bullshit. And he literally said, I don't even like him. And I'm like, yeah, I know you don't like him. In fact, I imagine you hate him. Like, it's kind of nuts. Like, the only person that could probably get off, some nasty will be a person that right now, like, he's dealing with his own court case right now because he may have choked his sister. So you can't really pull out Pat Bev like they did that one time.
He gotta shut the fuck up for the moment.
Yeah, but it's really bad way for one all-time greats to go out and play, because the dude's the first ballot Hall of Famer. He's one of the 30 greatest 34 years best players of all time. Like, he's literally like the last vestige of how point guard is. Like, I was thinking about this, and people have talked about this over pretty much the last decade. Like, Chris is pretty much like last real point guard, and like the way that people actually had the role set up, where it's like it's kind of similar to like two different football like kind of things that happen and kind of revolutionize where football is going. It's like, oh yeah, remember how we used to always have fullbacks on the field, and we said there's no need for that. Let's actually put a third receiver on the field. Let's play 11 personnel, right? Yeah. And then also it's like, hey, we can use a quarterback in the run game. Before, like, quarterbacks didn't run. Like, that same thing is like, you don't want your all-star, all NBA, all decade point guard. You want that guy to average like 20 points a game. You don't want him to score 25 for some reason, right? And then Steph Curry came around and like, yeah, that's kind of dumb. It's like
we out of here. We moving the game forward.
It's like yeah. Like, you want to get the ball to like your big wings or your center or your forward to score or whatever else. But like also like it would help if you were out here able to him be able to pitch in a big shot or here and there or whatever else, right? Like it'd be more of a steady dot off as opposed to like, oh, in the shot clock, hey, Steve Nash, go out here and save us, that kind of shit, right? So from that perspective, he's the last one. And like, I just, I don't think we'll ever see a player like him anymore, because also like, whenever we're going to find another guy that's under 6 feet tall that's like that good of an NBA player. Do you ever see that happening again? Maybe like once, maybe one time before we die, 2 more times before we die.
Yeah, like when you think about like how his athleticism changed throughout the middle of his career, and the fact that he lasted this long, and I would probably
exactly
say, like the season I think I was most impressed with Chris Paul was the when he was on the Thunder in 2020, and that team clearly didn't have like they had like a lot of young guys and stuff like that, and then he just like went down. That was the one time I held pretty much all Slender, because it was just like he was emptying the gun in a way where it was like he could have laid it down, he could have quit, he could have he could have just been like, this is bullshit, like this situation and all that, and he didn't fold up. And I respect guys kind of a little bit more for that. And yeah, man, it stinks for him to go out like this. Like, and the whole thing with it is like, when I first heard it, I was like, I feel like it only could have been one thing. I was like, it had to have been him just like causing like a one-man mutiny like in the locker room. But I was like, nah, I didn't even think that, because I would be like, he old now, like he ain't either people gonna either tune him out. But then I remember all them cats on that team is old anyway, they already know him. So, like it ain't even that he's giving the game to the youth or anything like that. It's like, it's this motherfucker that's annoying again. And then like the Clippers are such a fucking embarrassment anyway, like from like the players to the fucking organization, to
the owner. Forget middle manager, the owner. Like the only person that like don't have like shit all over them given this season right now might be Ty Lue. Ty Lue might be the only person. Then we'll see if there's a book about the disaster season. But if
he wasn't even talking to Chris Paul by the end or whatever.
Right, but I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe we don't know what caused that. So I'm willing to be like, because Ty Lue's one of the best coaches in the NBA and has been ever since he got a job as a head coach, like a decade. He's been a decade head coach. Like, so I'm not willing to just I'm willing to be like, hey, I'm willing to hear whatever comes out about this between Chris Paul and Ty Lue about this or whatever else. Like, I'm not, but everybody else, like Harden, he gets the benefit of the doubt.
No.
Harden slimed out Chris Paul in 2019.
Yeah.
Right?
But
Kawhi
Leonard,
Kawhi's not a leader.
Not a leader. Not nobody you want. Like,
he's just a great player.
Anything.
Right. Bradley Beal, loser. Right? Like Brook Lopez, just a solid vet guy, but he's on the end of his rope, right? There's nothing to be like, all right, whatever.
18 years in the league. Like,
right? Batum, old as dirt as well. Another one now classified in that same thing, right? Like, and then after that, you got like Chris Dunn. I think Derek Jones might still be on the team. I can't remember. Like, and it's like, all right, Zubac's fine, but Zubac's having a pretty down year compared to last year. They traded Norm Powell's not there no more.
Yep.
And
and the thing is, I was like, he had to have like just got on so many niggas' nerves up and down the organization, like, and where they were like, this can't continue anymore.
But the thing, I don't know if maybe there's something I missed, but I don't know if you kind of noticed this. And all the talks about it is not about everything I hear when they talk about like the fracturing or whatever schism is going on. It ain't like necessarily so much the players as like they keep mentioning it over and over, management staff. And then you hear like Lawrence Frank, that people like Stephen A. Smith, buried that nigga 6 feet under the sun yesterday, which is like, and then the Ty Lue thing. So it's like, and then, given what's going on with the aspiration shit and the Pablo Torre thing, it's like, it's been a bad look it's been a season from hell from them and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, all right, just another thing to throw in the disaster season, another little scandal thing to go on the way. Where it's like, oh, the greatest Clipper ever doesn't retire. Now you hit them out like when there's, 5 more months of the season. Or sorry, 4 months of the season. That's nuts. So it's all a mess. And it sucks that like, one of my favorite players of all time is attached to this, and it's how it is for them. And it also sucks that like, their season's such a disaster that like James Harden is like what 37 and he's doing this 37, 36 doing this, and he's the last line to defense from make sure the Thunder don't end up with like the first pick in the draft.
That's what Black Saber is saying right here.
Yeah, like he's like literally like James Harden is having offensively like a year that like after all the he's literally the most durable guard post Kobe, right? And he's having this year, and we were ready to write him off. After how many fat suits incidents? Was it after the second one? There's been 2 of them at least where he out of shape, and he still found a way to figure out when he shouldn't be having to do this. I'm ready to sit up. I'm ready to go out here and deal with the offensive workload of all this stuff. And like now another thing got to get up. Get interviewed about this, and he's a very closed off person when it comes to interviews anyway. He's not transparent at all. So now he has to get up there and lie and do the stone face thing in front of all these mics or whatever else. It sucks. It just sucks. The whole Clippers thing sucks. Like, and it's funny because the only reason why this is even a story, because like the Lob City Clippers raised this franchise out of the shit and made them an actual franchise that was worthy of some type of respect as not a laughing stock. And as soon as they leave, everything they've done since then, pretty much just getting Kawhi Leonard, they have turned into a laughing stock. And you buried them worse than I have. This is my first time getting on the ass and be like, you know what? I feel like, look, I would have made that trade now. I was like, look at this. I would have made the trade too. It's a disaster. And now you got this stuff just snowballing, getting worse and worse and worse. And now, like, Kawhi can't play, and when he does play, he's an all-star until a week later when he can't play again, and this. So it's a mess. That team got to blow it up, figure something else out, and they don't have no trade pieces, and they're fucked. And they don't have their own draft picks. So, yeah.
Love it for the Clippers. Chris Paul. Now I don't know if he's ever going to play again. You can think maybe he can. Maybe Doc Rivers brings him in to the Bucks to let him go out that way.
No.
Maybe the Thunder call.
You don't want to go to the Bucks because it's like you want to show up there. Exactly, you want to show up there as Giannis leaves. No. Yeah, I'm not going to be stuck there with that. Nah, man. Look, sorry, brother. Like, look, man. I understand it's tragic that he's been underdo Paul Pierce's retirement tour, but yeah, he's about to underdo it.
Man.
It stinks.
This kind of stuff I thought would have been reserved for Russ. Like they was trying to get Russ out of here over this summer, but he held on. But this is unfortunate. And this guy was a president of the Players Association for years and years, and gave a lot to the game, represented the country. A lot of playoff games, a lot of high moments, low moments, a
lot of high moments, a lot more high moments people are willing to admit, and also like one of the most unlucky players in the history of the NBA. Like, and that's funny. Like, who would have thought that putting a team, right? You talking about unluckiness? Who would have thought that putting together a Clippers team in 2025 with Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and Chris Paul was going to end up turn out this poorly? Think of how many bad things have happened to all three of their careers.
Me. Like, right. It's just it's like a completely unlucky franchise, like just all the way back. Like there's nothing's ever going right with them, and there's an alternate timeline where
he's a Laker, and him and Kobe are together, and they're one of my favorite backcourts of all time. Maybe my favorite backcourt.
And they putting his number 3 in the Lakers rafters, on the correct side of town in the building. But
they say correct side because the Clippers don't even have a side.
Yeah.
They don't have banners, do they? When they were in tables, did they even have banners?
No, they hung pictures.
They put up Pacific titles. Oh, okay, that's right. I was saying, did they put up those divisional titles? Pacific Champion 2014 or shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is so
it's bad, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Whenever he announces his official departure, like I know he announced retirement, we could do the whole long form discussion.
I wonder if I wonder if he has any plans for. I wonder what his plans are. I wonder if he's because I don't know if he doesn't say enough to be a media guy. Right, like Dwayne Wade and Melo, like they're they'll tell you stuff, and Chris will tell you stuff when he want to, but he don't seem like the guy to be like though to.
He is called Chris Haynes.
He's stupid. No, but like what Blake Griffin did a few weeks ago with John Morant, be like, hey man, you letting people down right now, right? And I don't even mean like the Klay Thompson. I mean like the Blake thing. Like I don't know if Chris ever really would do that on TV. So I don't know if he's ever tried or whatever else. Like he just seems like a person that would get into coaching, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Right. So I'm going through some of the YouTube chats. They were talking about my audio. It was on one ear. Hopefully that is fixed now, guys. Please let me know if you can as soon as possible in the comment section. Been messing with I was doing some. I had unplugged my mic, put the other one in earlier in the day, and all that, and was testing out trying to stream with OBS hooked into FL Studio. I think we're good now. Okay. All right, cool. So yeah, man, we will move along here.
Yeah. Where do you want to go to next?
So up next, tell me about Lane Kiffin, James.
All right. So this whole thing has broke containment. I was kind of surprised that this many people cared. Like when there's a situation where my stepdad is asking about Ole Miss and LSU and Lane Kiffin, and I'm just like, really? Because down here in Tampa, Lane Kiffin is Monty's boy, right? Like Monty Kiffin should be a Hall of Fame. Pro Football Hall of Fame assistant coach as a defensive coordinator for the Bucks for the late '90s, 2000s. Had some of the greatest defenses of all time. Not in yet. He should be. It's bullshit. He coached like four guys that are in the Hall of Fame on that defense, and there should be a fifth guy in the Simeon Rice. Like maybe he should be in like LeBeau is just maybe, just maybe. Anyway, that's Lane's dad, and Lane is a mess. He's a messy person, and but he's also, while this all is happening, like he's also a very good coach. And it's funny because of the messiness, people dislike him in a way to where it's like they don't have a proper grasp of how good of a coach he is. Like, I'm not saying he's
Bro, every time he gets a new job is drama. Somewhere through his whole career, whether it's Tennessee, whether it's USC, whether it's this.
All right, so the first job, if I remember correctly, is let's say Tennessee.
He gets there. Doesn't he say shit? We gonna sing Rocky Top while we beat Ole Miss or some shit like that?
And he says that about Florida, like he's gonna report in some he's gonna report in some freaking like NCAA violation, so he's snitching, right? And it's
Raiders,
SEC,
yeah.
And SEC like we ain't doing this, right? There's also the stint where I think he's a Raiders coach first, and then he leaves for Tennessee, and he's only there for 1 year, and after the year he then takes a job for USC. And he leaves. And he writes him a letter in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
Yes.
Was that Chris Paul?
Yes.
The reverse Chris Paul.
And also, which is funny, not funny, but like kind of ominous. Like this happened, and then there were like a lot of kids and people were on campus at night, and they were like, it was a public disturbance. Yeah. I'm not going to say riot, but it's a public disturbance. And like, this happened like a few years before Charlottesville and the TV torches. So it's kind of like, ooh, the all-over football coach, ooh. And then, the USC thing was so poorly that like they end up having to fire him after they get on the plane back home and fire him on the tarmac after the flight lands. So then from there, he's been at two historical powerhouse programs. He's failed, or he left one for the other one and failed at the one he wanted to work out. So he ends up doing what everybody else does. I'm going to go be an assistant on the analyst staff for Alabama. He goes through that. He becomes the offensive coordinator. He gets basically Derrick Henry the Heisman. They win the national championship, and then over the time, I think he plays another national championship game. And over that time, he ends up getting a job, get the head coach job at FAU, Florida Atlantic. And Saban ends up shit-canning him before letting him finish out the job. But, Saban's a control freak. Because he's like, if you aren't 100%, if you aren't 100% in on this Alabama thing, you need to get the hell out of here. It's like, I can't answer two calls. So he gets sent out early. He does well at FAU, and he's able to parlay that into the Ole Miss job. And the thing about Ole Miss job, and I think I've been saying this to Rich maybe a year ago. I was like, hey man, because this was out there. It's like, Ole Miss, similar to Florida State back in 2023, they were ahead of the curve when it came to the portal game. They're really good at it. The difference between Ole Miss and Florida State is Ole Miss continued to be good at it. It wasn't we were good 2 years and then we sucked every single year ever since then. It was we've been good every single year at the portal at Ole Miss. So leading to this year, they end up getting a kid from a small school named Trinidad Chance be quarterback. And they ended up just mid-season replaced him, and he was awesome for Ole Miss. So they went 2-10 or 10-2 or 11-1, I can't remember. And now they're going to the playoff. So, but the thing with the portal thing was, hey, I don't know, like you look around, like this year and last year, 24, they had because of the super conference stuff, we had these unbalanced conference schedules. Right, it's no longer you playing the East or the West, or you playing the Coastal or the Atlantic and ACC, or the Big Ten West or Big Ten East and the Big Ten. It is you play your rival or your two rivals, whatever else, and then we basically play each other in pods almost for 2 years. And some of these schedules are just like ridiculously unbalanced, right? So they had, for SEC standards, they had a cakewalk the last 2 seasons. So that's why they went heavy in the portal with get players, because they were like, we have a chance to actually like sneak in and possibly get to the conference championship game. So they fell short of that this year, just barely. They were in a tiebreaker to last week, but it didn't work out. But it was like, all right, similar to Dion with Travis Hunter and Shador, it was like, you have a window to make something happen and improve, and you need to quickly flip the job and get the fuck out of there. And for some reason, Dion said, "I'm staying in Colorado, even though my
It's
son
over.
Yeah,
It's over. Like, and it was like, he needs to be like thinking about time with the family, prepping excuses, like calling Jerry Jones, seeing what's going on.
Right. He decided to stay another year and is like, what do you know? The 93 team with the Heisman Trophy winner and the NFL quarterback left off the team and it went to shit. What do you know? Right. So Lane, it was like Lane had been at Ole Miss for actually for a fact it wasn't 10 wins this year, it was 11 wins. It was for sure 11 wins. So Ole Miss, like, this is it. They know next year they got to play like Texas, Oklahoma, and two other schools that are like a Georgia. Like, it's not Georgia and Alabama, but it's like Georgia as well, and then another team.
You know what that shit reminds me of? That reminds me of like the Beanie Siegel video. I can feel in the air them niggas looking around like that real schedule coming.
That's exactly how it is when it comes to this coaching game now. When it comes to like these people, all these schools are like Cincinnati back in the day, right? Brian Kelly gets there. He parlays that into going to Notre Dame. Luke Fickell gets that job. He parlays that. He's holding on to there at Cincinnati forever, trying to get Ohio State to open, but it never opens, right? And when it does open, they already have their place, so he's fucked, and he goes going somewhere else, right? Like, there's all these schools. South Florida's a job like that, where like you get that job. Charlie Strong had that job post Texas. Taggart got that job, and was able to parlay that into Florida State. Alex Golesh right now just got an Auburn job based off the strength of working at South Florida. That's a job where you do well, you will be able to move on. Same for Memphis, same for Temple. There's certain schools in the G5 that have big budgets for the G5 and in their small conference where you do well, you show you have the head coaching job, whatever else, you can get yourself a pretty good job, because these schools at this point, they don't want to hire a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, position coach unless they have prior head coaching chops,
right?
Or they're like Dan Lanning, that was a defensive coordinator, or Kirby Smart, long-time defensive coordinator at Nick Saban, been there for forever, has put a bunch of guys in the league, has ran Nick Saban's defense. Go get Georgia. Dan Lanning, defensive coordinator and great ace recruiter for Georgia for a number of years. Go get him to Oregon. Like, unless you are proven as on one side of the ball on a powerhouse national title contender legitimately, or year in, year out, you can't get that job without no prior head coaching experience. This is how it goes. So, like, for example, the ace recruiter for Ohio State, Brian Hartline, wide receiver coach, has put 1 million receivers in the NFL, right? Marvin Harrison Jr., Jeremiah Smith, next year, Chris Olave, so on and so forth. But he never called no plays until this year, where he got the offensive coordinator job. We don't know if they really let him call plays this year. We don't know if Ryan, they let him do that. So what do you do? I'm leaving and I'm going to South Florida. I'm going to the job where you can go prove that if you do well for 2 years here, you're gonna get yourself a good job. Now, I'm keeping tabs on that in 2 years. If they keep Norvell for 2 fucking years, I'm keeping tabs on that one. We'll see. But then again, he might end up getting like the fucking Notre Dame job or some shit like that in 2 years or whatever else. We'll see. Whatever.
Sure, these jobs would be rotating on which one is open.
Yes, but that's the thing. So, like, what's been going on? Why Lane became the top name this year when it came to Florida, wanted him, and also Florida State back in the day, not back in the day, 2 years ago, when Norvell was offered the Florida State job. The person that they were looking at to replace him, Norvell actually took that job, was Lane Kiffin. I remember hearing them like, it made me wince because, like, I like Lane. I think he's a good coach, but because of how messy he is, you don't want it. You think I don't want him to coaching my team. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those.
Can't nobody ever like? It's like he just still feels like a kid, even though he's
50. He's 50 now. He still acts like a kid. Like, just perfect example, right? LSU in Florida came open over a month ago. Ole Miss is a job that you leave out for Florida. You leave Ole Miss regardless of how good it is. I don't care about the money, whatever. Florida, LSU have more money for football than Ole Miss ever will. It is what it is. Sorry, right? It is also a place where you can get players that come to just naturally out of recruiting as opposed to pouring over it in that kind of way.
Right.
And also you throw in the part when all these coaches leave and transfer, they take kids from where they are at beginning with, and then move over. Like Kirk Cincinnati, Indiana, he took a bunch of kids from James Madison with him to Indiana, and now he's kicking everybody's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So people, so when it comes to this, is like, all right, is me personally, me and you, we're very, 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 very like cynical when it comes to this thing. It's like, all right, stop being so precious about this. Most of these hires don't work. If you have to fire somebody in 3 years, oh well. Everybody has to fire somebody after 3 years and 4 years now at this point anyway. So just move on, and hopefully you find somebody that fits what you want, and then hopefully it works out. If it don't work out, it'll be for whatever reason when it comes up. But you don't know the shortcoming until they get a job. You only know what they can do on paper, because every job is different. Every administration is different. Every support staff and booster thing and culture is different, right? Like Texas should always be good at football, but they're not because too many chefs in the kitchen. There's too much oil money in the way, wanting to be the number one booster, fucking things up, right? And so only periodically can Sarkisian get everybody to pull in the same direction. Nick Saban was able to make it work. He's like, I already won that championship. If I come here, I don't want to hear from none of y'all. And nobody said anything because he won 5 titles there, or whatever it was. So
he lucky he got out, because if he would have just kept going, Legend would have been calling Feinbaum, talking about, we gonna drive a bomb, we gonna walk into Bryant-Denny Stadium with a bomb strapped to our chest if this nigga still the coach.
Shit. All right, so back to Lane at LSU in particular. I believe LSU, regardless, I do this. When I strip down, get away all the bullshit. You got a good coach, great. You got a bad coach, great. Strip all the bullshit aside. Just on paper, I think LSU's second best job in the SEC. Only behind Georgia. Mm-hmm. I think they're in front of Alabama for this reason and this reason only.
They crazy.
They're the only school in the state of Louisiana that's a Power One, that is Power 4 school. It's the same thing that Georgia has, except Georgia has more players because of Metro Atlanta. But the same thing with Metro New Orleans. Like, all them kids would have been Southern or Grambling, and instead they put on the purple and they put on the gold. And there's also another thing that I heard about this recently that makes sense. When it comes for high school time, high school state championships, when they run them games back to back over them weekends, and it's in the Superdome, and it's 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, maybe even 6A. I don't know how Louisiana goes. At some point during that season, or during the games, in every single game, there will be one team that is either wearing purple and gold or named the Tigers, It runs deep there. It runs real deep. So in a way that is not normal for any other Southern state. So that's why when you look at historically, well, let's say last 15 years, whatever else, the top kids in that state, 7 to 8 of them going to LSU. It ain't like Georgia, where damn, Georgia got 6 of their 10 best players. That's great. You never get that. That don't happen. LSU gets their kids out of their state.
LSU steals all my recruits in college football 26. I have Louisiana Raging Cajuns. I sketched them niggas stole a wide receiver from me one year that I wanted that had 99 speed, right? I scheduled them niggas week 1 on their field, went in there and beat them. I was pissed. I was like, no, this not happening. Fuck this.
You stupid. So yeah, man. I think that if it's up and running, and that's one thing that Lane has shown. Regardless of how messy he is, whatever else, his last 2 stops, he has proven he can build. He can get to a program and set up and build it and go forward and make it successful and sustainable. You look around, and especially in this NIL stuff where people transfer in now, you got to retain your roster over. The part where he can go to the portal and maintain that, would have to win to win 10 and 11 games at Ole Miss. That's fucking hard to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's I think he's a good coach. Now, will he fuck it up? I believe he will eventually. But I think he's probably going to win a national championship and then they'll fire him. I mean, it won't be any different what happened with Ed Orgeron. Except, and you'll
Hopefully.
take it. You'll take a national championship over in some mess at the end. You will. You just will.
Yeah. Oh, so best of luck to him and all that. But
One back to the messy ass lane shit, right? So have you heard some of the reasons? Given that LSU and Florida came open so early, and it was like the writing was on the wall. He was gonna go to either one of them. Like, do you ever hear why he decided to hold on instead of like just leaving early and not and do this whole charade about he's gonna try to, bully them and to let him coach the playoff games for Ole Miss? Do you hear that
nah,
story?
I didn't hear about that.
There is rumor that because Alabama's kind of on the bubble in this SC title game coming up this Saturday. That if they had lost to Auburn in the Iron Bowl, Kevin LeBoer might have looked around and been like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here and I'm taking that Penn State job," which would have left Alabama job open. And apparently he holds that in the highest of regards because he's a Nick guy now.
Yeah.
So instead of waiting for the LSU job, he would have went to their big bros that's kicked their ass most of the last 15 years.
That nigga would have had that nigga would have had the entire Southeast hating him, the entire region.
So to add to that, right? Next year, because this is the first time it's happened, like I mentioned, because of the super conference stuff they ain't really played. Next year, LSU at Ole Miss, LSU at Tennessee. He finally goes to Tennessee to go get his rifle booing in person. He got to take it to Rocky Top Ridge after ducking it for a decade.
They gonna have to check for niggas with bow and arrows out there. Like niggas is pulling up with rocks, sticks, anything they can find.
I thought Bomani was talking about this. Yes, Bomani was talking about why is everybody buying these D batteries?
Like, what the fuck going on here?
They've been a tree laying like like he's trying to break the color line 50 or 60 years ago. Oh.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that.
This is for those that we have international fans, all right? Or we have also listeners or whatever else. Like people
college
like
football fans are crazy.
People like people like Sam, right? When they hear about college football, they're like, yeah, that kind of sounds like, that sounds like, football, or that sounds like rugby. And I'm like, that's like the most passionate fan base in a major sport is college football. People poison trees, people commit acts of terrorism. Like, yeah, man, it's nasty.
Dark money moves, like
yes. And the thing that makes it so crazy because like it is one thing when like you are a fan of the civic pride of this team represents your city or your state. It's another thing when it's like it goes beyond that. It represents your community, and you can't people the whole cringeworthy shit of like, hey, when you talk about a pro sports team, no. When it's college sports, it's we because some of these motherfuckers there are like 10,000 undergrads every single year getting sprouted up. So yeah, that weed is real actually. So that's why it gets crazy like this. I love it. I love the sport. I love it. Remember when Tennessee tried to hire Grace Schiano and they might have said it's nothing cool? They love on their campus and be racing hell. I love the sport.
Oh man, our goals I have to. Man, and look, and then we haven't even done like Jimbo is still hanging around somewhere. Where is Jimbo going to end up?
That Penn State job, right?
Yeah,
bro, it's so funny because they fired Franklin, and they were the first domino. They were the first movers on the big school has an opening, and now like. I heard that they moved on. Their target is Matt Campbell from Iowa State, and this is funny because like this is somebody that, in theory, y'all could have gotten. It would have been a good pick. Nobody would have looked at you crazy if you had hired him a month ago. And it's like, are y'all waiting for the board to see how this shit fall out, Alabama? Like, are I know y'all ain't trying to get laid. He don't fit y'all culturally or regionally. Like, what are y'all waiting for? Y'all not finna hire Heartline because he has never coached before.
James,
So what are y'all doing?
You got to tell the tree poisoning story.
Oh, the tree poison. Okay, yeah. So Alabama and Auburn. I can't remember if it's Alabama or Auburn, but like on campus they have these famous I think they're oak trees or whatever else, right? So somebody from the other fan base about 15 years ago poisoned the trees and they couldn't save the trees. Yeah. Eco-terrorism. The SEC just means more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do it, man. Diddy. Boy.
No. You just press the fob, press it again. Diddy. There you go.
Oh man. So the Diddy documentary that was produced by 50 Cent among a couple other people was released to Netflix over the last few days. I watched it between last night and this morning, and brother, how did we let this nigga walk amongst us for 30 years?
You can say it about a lot of people, right? Like Bill Cosby, another example. R. Kelly, another example.
Bro, I was texting back for both of my sisters put me in a group chat to talk about this shit before I had watched it. And I was like,
okay.
All right, let me watch it. I'm going to reconvene back with y'all. This is what I told them. I was like, this doc presented him as this abject monster who has been hiding in plain sight for 30 years, who hid behind a veil of evil, who hid a veil of evil behind once in a lifetime charisma and the gift of gab. He stole people's money, dignity, self-respect, artistry to serve himself by any means. He was brought in the game under the old school business masters like Clive Davis and Andre Harrell. Who knows what them bad boy slave contracts look like? A 10-album deal is absolutely fake under any context. I think he's the black version of Donald Trump. And it literally links him to both the Tupac and Biggie murders in a way that I think is causing a light bulb to go off above many people's heads. His entire rise is filled with death behind it from the very moment he became famous, with the thing with the basketball game, with the people getting trampled and stuff like that in 1991. He becomes a star out of this. They talk about Uptown Records in the beginning of this, where he's just this ambitious kid, and they talk about his childhood where his dad's not around, and they always talk about the relationship he has with his mom. And I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, I think that he obviously didn't have a father, and it's the mother's fault, because she would be dressing him like he was this pimp, at a young age, around all those parties and everything like that. And they had people that he grew up with from birth. They was like, he didn't really know how to defend himself and stuff like that, and he'd be getting beat up. But then he would just he would be biting people in the neck and not fighting fair, and be like, I won't lose, essentially. They talked about this guy named Kirk Burrows, who I had never heard of, who is actually the founder of Bad Boy with Diddy. Had 25% ownership. Janice Combs had 75% ownership. And the thing is, Puff never put Bad Boy in his name because he didn't want to be responsible for those people that he trampled, for them to sue. So nothing's in his name, so he couldn't do anything. And that goes even worse. When Biggie dies, he's like, we're going to throw Biggie the thing, you ever heard the story about how Big was supposed to go to London or whatever, immediately after the Peterson Museum, he was supposed to fly out for a promo tour, and then Diddy canceled his flights and was like, he's not going to be there. And they basically put it he ushered Big to his death. There's a bunch of shit where the East Coast West Coast war was completely fake. It was really just between Puff and Suge Knight or whatever. And then the way it goes is wow. I was like, yeah, I guess so, because once Tupac got shot and Biggie got shot, it was over. Nobody kept shooting. So maybe it was just them. But Diddy, like, just kind of like rises off the Biggie shit. And the Biggie thing with the funeral I was talking about, he was like, we're going to throw the biggest funeral there is or whatever. Bro, they never said that, like he charged that shit to Biggie's estate and they made Biggie pay that shit like out of like his contract and recoup bullshit. Like, Diddy didn't pay for none of that shit. He didn't pay a lot of people money. One other thing I started thinking about was how nobody ever gets to their fucking second album on Bad Boy. Essentially, after 1999, Bad Boy is a record music label. It ain't really that much.
It's a what do you call it? It's a front.
It's a
money laundering. It's money laundering.
And like all the new stars that he made, it was not from like, scouting and shit like that. It was from TV. He became a television star or whatever. Like with the Making the Bands and Danity Kane and then Day 26. All that shit came from the same place. The only other thing that he was notable for was Cassie. And Cassie,
the Sean John stuff was relatively successful, but they had a shelf like just like all the rap fashion shit did, and then like Ciroc. But Ciroc, I don't know how much. But I don't know how much. Okay, because I don't know how much what percentage he actually had in Ciroc, or how much he was just the face of it. I don't know.
Right, I think he got like $100 million. Like they gave him like basically to promote it or whatever. He got Biggie off the Rolling Stone cover. He was like, we taking Big off that shit. We need me on Rolling Stone.
After he died. It was supposed to be. I remember that. Yeah, that was a story that was that came out maybe like 2-3 years ago. Or actually no, maybe like as soon as like the fans came sniffing around him last year, 2 years ago, was when that story came out. It's like, he's like, no, I don't need to be like, no, he's dead. I need to be on there. And then he did the thing because like he launched himself into rap superstar.
Yeah, and the thing how it's set up is they have all this footage of Diddy like 6 days before the verdict or whatever, because he was going to try to shoot this documentary like in hopes, when he got off, like he was going to turn it around like and some shit like that. But the thing was he didn't want to pay the people that were shooting the footage. So what happened is Netflix swooped in and bought it. So it was like, nigga, you supposed to buy the footage either way. Like, so no documentary like this can get made. 50 Cent really doesn't have shit what to do with this. He's not a talking head on there, bro. They've got all these people that were directly working for Bad Boy, artists, his fucking ex assistant, Capricorn Clark or something like that. Mark or Kurt Burrows, and there was another guy. They got Eric Sermon. There was a story about how he tried to fight Eric Sermon or whatever, and he was taking niggas girls. They talked about how he took Albie Shore's Kim Porter, Misa Hilton, which I believe was with Eric Sermon, if I'm not mistaken. And Eric Sermon was like, he was trying to be friends with me or whatever, but he was trying to like watch me to like make sure I wasn't, he was basically just trying to take my woman and make sure she didn't like, mess with me or whatever. And then like, the 50 Cent element, we should talk about this. I have no problem with what 50's doing. Yeah, is it low? Is it haterish? Is it like,
it is, but it don't matter. It is, but it don't matter.
Yeah.
And then the thing
they did the work to get all these real people to talk on this thing. Like, this isn't like some bullshit that was made up because, like, you see like on these streaming services, like on Tubi or Netflix or even Amazon, they be like, the Diddy documentaries, and it's just like a bunch of scatter shit. I don't even waste my time with it. This shit is different. Everyone should check this out.
Yeah. So, like, the reason why for most people, right? Most people that are going to watch this, like off the strip of, because like are going to be like, one, the Diddy interest story, and then two, they know that 50 Cent has Acid Grind, his name's attached to it as an executive producer. So they're going to gum it. So you go into it, from what I heard, you go into it expecting it to be some anti-Diddy propaganda piece. Hell, that that 50 Cent is literally like jabbing him with the knife, right?
Bro, they make it sound like 50 Cent's gonna pop up after the screen after like every 5 minutes, be like, "How'd you like that? I got another one for you." Like that.
So in my mind, what I had in mind was like, you know how 50 would talk shit at the end of a song, and that'd be the best part of a diss record, where him talking shit for
Yeah.
like 1 minute after a song, and then he does a laugh, the giggle, you know, like I was expecting
Right.
it, I was expecting like the Diddy documentary to end, and at the end of it, all of a sudden it fades to dark, and then you hear 50's laugh in the back for like 5 seconds, and then end it. But but the thing is, like the thing that draws people or gets people to stay is like, from what I've heard, is you expect it to be some 50 Cent, acid grind bullshit, but it's actually it's actually a serious documentary. And that's what actually want to keep people around. So yeah, like I actually think this was a good idea for him to do it this way, because everybody expected him to do that, and then him to go actually like do it legitimately is like it makes it even more uh uh vindicating for him
Yeah.
and it's dislike of Diddy over the last 20 years,
So many people, it was just
25 years.
it was just a lot of the same patterns from these people. Like, it would literally be like the people that were there in the 90s, they would disappear. Some people would get introduced in the 2000s, and then all of a sudden they're telling the same stories. And then these NDAs, and they're going through the hotel video with Cassie, and they're talking about the freak offs, and
Did they get
how
into
basically everything was set up to protect Diddy. And it was like, the nigga was
Did they
like,
get into the specifics of some of the freak offs?
yes,
Did they talk about the story about the fluid exchanging?
yes.
Okay, because that one was like, hey man, like you like who you like, but you saying that you like that you want you would like to be cucked, and you would like Cassie to then like put the juice on your put on your nipples, like, hey, that's a little bit. That I don't know what they got to do with sex. That's kind of that's some other shit, bro. That's some other shit. You two freaked out.
It is like there's a lot to it. That is like, yo, like, and you think about like how important he is to like black music.
You can't tell the story of black music in the last 30 years without mentioning his name at some point, and it has to be relatively soon.
Yeah, it's
You can't not. Mary J. Blige, Biggie. You're gonna have to say his name eventually at some point.
they talked about basically how he had like this ear for like what was going to change music in the early 90s. He was like he would be in these clubs, and he was this party promoter, and he had these DJs with him that would basically take these R&B vocals and then put them on mixes with like the New Jack Swing drums or fucking like these hard hip hop drums and stuff like that. So he was like, what if I just make Jodeci sing over the EPMD remix for Come and Talk to Me? That shit tastes the fuck off. And then they do it again with Mary J. Blige. And then the whole thing with him is just like, they said he always wanted the spotlight for himself at the end of the day. And he watched it for Andre Harrell. He was like, everything's about Andre automatically. And then, Never Outshine the Master. And eventually they crashed and shit like that. And then he literally built Bad Boy. And bro, Bad Boy just seemed like, he wanted Biggie out the way. Like you got to see the Tupac and Biggie part, because it's like it draws the thing in your head, like it leads you to the water of like he had this personal problem with Tupac. Tupac did not fuck with him. Tupac and Biggie were friends. Diddy wanted Biggie close to him. He wanted to control his money, his music, and like his friendship, weirdly. But he was obsessed that Tupac was like in the way, essentially, and he stole everything off Tupac. Like, as far as like they tried to watch this nigga videos and then make Biggie do it and different shit like that. And it's like, I get it. That's part of the game and shit. But it was like, it's so weird. He was like, he wanted this nigga Pac eliminated, and then they would make it like it was $1 million hit for Tupac, and then loop back around with the Biggie thing that closes that loop essentially. And the thing was, the person that did it, they said he only got like 500,000 because the $1 million was supposed to be both for Pac and Suge Knight, but Suge only got grazed with a bullet. There's so much like here in this shit, and with Diddy, like this is disgusting, man. Like, and it's like it's sad, and it's like disappointing, and it's like the nigga has so much power, he was unstoppable. Like, no one could have stopped this shit unless they were prepared. Like, this is the type of nigga that owned the police department, like that owned like whatever the
Trish,
fuck.
was it 2001? The shooting in the club?
He
Like
made
that?
his shit disappear. He been making shit disappear.
He made a nigga take the rap for him, allegedly. Everyone thinks he took the rap for him, right? Like, so then you also throw in the part where, like, for me, when they did the Bad Boy 20 year anniversary reunion tour or whatever, that's when I was like, hey man, this some foul shit. He's making niggas that he owe money to go back on the road to get and go re-earn money they already are owed. And I was saying that, and I got my cousin Alex, he's really big on celebrity. He's really big on celebrity, and like it means something other than more than what it is. But like he be trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, and he's like, you don't know these people; they're fucking strangers. And just because they made something that moved you visually or auto, I almost said audibly. That's not a thing. In audio form, like that doesn't mean they're not complicated by doing something wrong, because humans do stuff wrong, right?
All
So
right.
I was always like, hey man, Diddy's an asshole. I've been on Diddy's an asshole for like in about a decade, and I probably was late to. I definitely was late to it, but I was never expecting that there was all these all the human trafficking and all this other shit, and like it's gotten worse and worse and worse, and it's like, man, this is it really sucks to be like have been a fan, like to be a fan of the music he made, because he made great music with a bunch of different people for a long time, and it's like,
You listen to the Love
what does it
all the
mean
great,
now?
that comeback album that he tried, and then he has a song with Bryson Tiller, like, bro, that's like all that shit is jamming. Like you listen to it, like everything is dope, and it's like, damn, we gotta like. And then you listen to that fucking song, but it's about Cassie, and you realize how twisted it is when you listen to the lyrics. Like, she don't want my love, I guess I gotta move on. Like, of course, nigga. Like, look what you doing to her.
Yeah.
Like, bro, hold on,
Yeah.
man. Hold on. I bet these lyrics. Hold on, man. These fucking lyrics. Okay. She don't want my love. I'm guessing I gotta move on. I tried to give it to you, all to you, baby. Brand new Mercedes, a newborn baby. And Bryson Tiller's singing all this, by the way. And I told you your love was too lazy. All you had to do was love me, baby. Man, it gets so frustrating, yeah. Why you want to go and test me, baby, yeah. Degrade me and tell me I'm failing, yeah. Keep telling me things like, you done trying with me, done fighting with me. Gave you a ring, I was going off the deep end, yeah. Oh, DeLeon, my drink for the weekend. Sent you some things, yeah, when I was done drinking. Like, girlie with you for the wrong reasons, because you was with me. Talking about when Cassie left him for the new dude. Wrong reason, because you was with me. Tell him to stop reaching. Guess that's just the jealous in me. I'm salty. I need it. My wounds keep bleeding. You found a new man, so I gotta move on. Guess you got a new agenda with someone you barely know. I won't say you're wrong. Guess you had to move on. She don't want my love. Guess I gotta move on. Like, and it's like, bro, it's like this. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do with a lot of this. Like, cause it's like the niggas, like I think he's the black Donald Trump, honestly. Like,
okay, so Zach had mentioned this. Like, remember the Press Play album?
Yeah.
And I don't know, the album version of Last Night with Keisha Cole, at the end of it, he has a voicemail, and he's like, can't believe you doing these things to me, girl. You hurt me, girl. Were you wrong for this? Like, it was almost very similar to like the Drake "You should be ashamed of yourself" shit.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like, I remember that back then. I used to make a joke. It's like, that sounded like how Jason would talk to him, but Jason wouldn't do none of this. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, but it was like one of those things where like, yo, you sound kind of like a person that doesn't know how to handle rejection, and like clearly that is the case with him. Yeah,
Shoulder, it said Shoulder 1676. I'm very ignorant, but didn't he have sexual assault cases dating back to the 90s? Yes, and they have women on there or whatever. Joy Nickerson Neal or something was her name, and just crying. Like, they're showing her modern day, and then they're showing pictures of her, when she was young, like with Diddy, and very pretty girl. And it was just like, just terrorize these people. Like, Zekmaki says, remember that voicemail at the end of last night with Keisha Cole? He was joking about how he was. Yeah. The Kid Cudi shit, they mentioned that. And it's just like the car blowing up. He was out here saying he is trying to kill people, essentially. Like, he will get people knocked the fuck off.
Yeah, I saw. So yeah, it's coming up right now. I'm talking about the hand sanitizer thing. Like, I saw a clip of that, and I was like, look,
hey, hand sanitizer.
If I can reach far enough, look, Rich as well, right? So I'll be real with you. Ever since the pandemic, Rich, ever since the pandemic, I go out and about, and then as I come home, hand sanitizer. I have a spray. I have.
Look, talking about Diddy, I need to, sanitize after this.
Yeah, you feel gross, right? You feel gross. So, but like, I come home from where I come home from, right? And hand sanitizer, and then like, and then I'll get a like rubbing alcohol, and like I'll put it into like a paper towel, and like I will like wipe down like my phone, my keys, my wallet, plus contact, like the doorknobs. So like, I get it. I get that, like, it seems like he's like a wrestling heel, right? Like, I'm too good for the people. They're dirty germs. Like, it sounds like a Vince McMahon character. In fact, Vince McMahon did that one time to Paul Heyman one time, like shaking his hand and his hand sanitizer. But like, I get how you use that to help people familiarize with, like, oh, he's an asshole. He believes he's above the people. But at the same time, it's like, hey, man, that's a pandemic. There are over 1 million people dying from this shit. Maybe it's not the crazy in order to be able to shake hands outside New York City and be like, I need to. Now, I will say this. He took it further. He did say, like, I feel like he took a shower. Yeah, he did say that. That's a step too far. That's a step too far, especially with all the pictures I saw. He was mostly outside. But the hand sanitizer is not enough for me to be like, oh yeah, this is definitely whatever else outside of all the other stuff in the documentary. That's the least on the list of uncharming, if you will. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I mean, there's so many disgusting details that we already covered.
Yeah. Stole tons of people publishing, made sure they didn't get paid, withheld all their money, the Aubrey O'Day shit. Like, you could just see what that was. Like, you already know what that was like. Yeah, man. Like, just a terrible, like, evil villain motherfucker. Like, that is just like, has so many like artists like with him over the years, and then at the end of the day, this guy's left kind of at the mercy of the courtroom, who they end up only giving him 50 months, and then he'll be back out in a couple years or whatever, and this shit will probably continue.
I have a hard time thinking that he's going to just be able to like reacclimate himself into like or basically be re-embraced by hip hop. Like, I don't think that's going to be a thing when he gets out, because the stuff like the documentary and the stuff that happened in the details of that of these cases. Like, that's some of the stuff is like, ain't nobody, like, I understand Ray J dumbass somebody, he missed the P Diddy parties or whatever else recently. But Ray J's a fucking idiot. Like, Ray J just recently, like, on the holidays, got his ass for about to put his gun on somebody. So, like, inside of his house when his daughter was in the room. So, like, yeah, I don't give a fuck really what Ray J got to say about it. So yeah, I just don't think people are going to be like, hear this stuff, see this documentary on Netflix, and then come away and be like, yeah, it's all cool. I don't think there'll be some, but I don't think it's going to be like he's going to go on a fucking media tour when he comes back.
Boy, that Breakfast Club interview, whenever the fuck that happens.
I think Charlamagne's been on his ass about all this shit too. So he don't get no quarter wherever he show up on these places. Like he can't do look. Even somebody that um like even the place that like him, like isn't Button wasn't he close with or
Yes.
not close, but when nope, that ain't going. Mark Lamont Hill finna come off the top rope on his ass if he come whenever he come back. It ain't gonna happen.
Imagine Mona
He
be
ain't got nothing to sell. He ain't got nothing to
Mona would
sell.
be
It's
like,
done.
nigga, what? Like,
Right, right, right. You nasty nigga.
oh man. Let's talk about these quarter zips, man. You said we put it on the format sheet.
All right, man. So I mean, this is the latest thing in respectability politics come in a meme come together at once. So because it's kind of broken containment. So some of the YNs, as a joke, been wearing the quarter zips, right? Yeah, yeah, and it has sparked some debate. Or sorry, let me phrase that. Not a debate, not any real debate. It sparked like the what people like to call the think pieces, the think piece Twitter. People don't actually. It's not actually a think piece. You can't write a think piece on Twitter. You don't have enough characters. But like people start getting discussions about uh black people in a way policing the way other black people dress is like I thought that's what white people do. That's for white supremacists, not us. What are you doing? So it, yeah, so it's interesting to see how that keeps happening. Is like, yeah, man. Anytime. Like, why are we concerned about how other black people dress? Like, the idea of pro blackness is the idea that is should be in theory the opportunity for black people to dress and see however they want or whatever else, in regardless outside of the view of whatever. Uh, and it just to see it for me was kind of like I thought it was funny at first, and then it started turning down. I was like, "Oh, y'all ruined a good thing." This was supposed to be just a little quick, little TikTok jokes, right, with the teenagers, and it broke containment and it got to the old niggas like us in Twitter. But we luckily don't get caught up in that kind of stuff. And even you, like I mentioned, Rich, you have joined in with the YNs when it comes to the quarter zip. So yeah, man, like what was your thoughts when you seen some of the stuff? What was some of the funniest stuff you saw?
Just the concept. It was like, yeah, man, we done with the Nike sex, and we doing this and drinking coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought this was the dumbest shit that like.
I did too. I thought it was dumb, but in a good, like in a funny way. I thought it was harmlessly dumb. As
Right,
opposed to,
but then like the reaction to them, they was like, "Oh yeah, these are young men, or doing something. They could be young men." Like people
it was two things. It was two things. It's about time y'all start dressing like somebody, like y'all like y'all meant to contribute to society. It was like, whoa, hold on. Take the white hood off. Relax. And then another backlash is like, why are these black men want to dress like white men or whatever else? And why did like it turned into like why are they being do they hate themselves? I was like, it's a meme. It's a joke. It's a gag. Relax.
like, bro, like it's like I don't know, bro. Like I just filed this one under. We sing better than them. We dance better than them. We dress flyer than them. and they don't understand it. Like, and they can be whoever, right? I'm not describing this to anybody, right? But it's all this stuff. Black people are the most fascinating people in the world. Black people from America are the most imitated, copied, whether it is music, film, fashion, sport, style, hair. This is just another example. And it's like, look, yes, cut niggas' internet off. This is the only solution. Like,
is that Myron that said that?
Yeah.
All right, look, I'm not finna go. I can't
do this.
I'm not going there with you when it comes to that. Look, like the gender war. If you put it on if you see it on your timeline and you spend any time looking at it, it will then end up on your timeline and you will think it's real. It's not real. It's fucking fake. right? So I'm telling you, it's fake. You just got to go into your timeline and realize that you are not a person that is not being. You are not a person that is above or skipping past and avoiding the algorithm. The algorithm finds everybody. You just got to have your awareness of it. Like this shit is there to trigger you, fuck with you, bother you, and for a lot of people, this is how they get towards hating women and becoming incels. You gotta realize this shit fake. We need to, I'm not saying it's you in general. I'm talking about just that. Your comment ended up at the bottom of the screen, so I need to address it. So anyone watching this to be like, that shit is fake. It's not real.
He does bring up another point here about people, the origin of a lot of this stuff, like with the accounts, like the backlash. These people are not from America. Like, this shit is being imported, from over there.
Yeah, and we don't know, and because of how it is, we don't know who are bots and who are actually real people online, right? We don't know. So, as he mentioned, he said it was non-black people that are non-black Americans that did this. Or sorry, non-Americans that did this. We don't even know they're real people.
Yeah.
Right. So, it's always a mess, man. So, like, I constantly look at my time and be like, I look at something like, ooh, I'm ready to, literally, like, it feels like half the time on Twitter is me seeing some bullshit and me typing up a storm and being like, wait, is it worth it for me to actually post this or to retweet this and dunk on somebody? Is this person even real? Fuck this, delete. That is like at least a quarter of my time on Twitter. So yeah, like I don't tweet enough anyway.
Group chat saved the world from a lot of stuff.
Oh,
like man, like y'all.
Me and Rich be sending shit back and forth to every day about some bullshit that piss us off every day.
I was like I be getting 1,500 tweets or likes off just liking a fucking match or whatever, right? Like some of this shit that I put on the timeline. No, I'm not trying to go super viral. No. But yeah, let's move into pro wrestling, man. We had a lot of other stuff to talk about, but I want to talk about TNA on Spike TV. No. Not Spike TV, but AMC signed a deal with TNA. I don't know the numbers on it. I think I heard something maybe about $10 million or something on it, and they're going to be on Thursday nights in TNA and all that.
Wait. $10 million per year?
I believe so.
Rich, you do me a favor. Can you type in $10 million divided by 52?
$10 million divided by 52.
I mean, it's going to be close to like, was it? Is that like 200,000? Is that like roughly $200,000?
Yeah, 192.
Yeah, that's roughly $2,000. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. I almost feel embarrassed that I had to ask you pull the calculator, but I asked it before you even said it. But yeah, like it's just that's it's something.
It's something.
It's something.
I got their press release here. And I found it very interesting that the first three wrestlers mentioned in this were Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and Sting.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to drop the link in the live here if anybody wants to take a look at it. And I'm going to also pull it in here. So let's see. All right. So AMC and TNA Wrestling announced a multi-year agreement to bring TNA's flagship weekly TV show Thursday Night Impact to AMC, TNA's new television home in the U.S. Their new partnership kicks off from the Curtis Colwell Center in Dallas-Fort Worth, January 15th, 2026. It's going to be a 2-hour show, and also on AMC Plus. Carlos Silva says, "We are super excited to bring the in-ring excitement, energy, and drama of TNA Wrestling to AMC. TNA Wrestling heads into 2026 the hottest it has ever been, with intense rivalries and a fan base that loves the TNA stars. We cannot wait to expand the TNA audience with our new partner, AMC Networks, which has a long and storied history of serving passionate and engaged fans across so many shows and franchises through this new media rights deal. TNA's impressive growth and success is driven by the stories, characters, and nonstop action fans love, said Dan McDermott, CCO of AMC Networks. We put fans at the center of everything we do, and TNA has built its brand and its programming around that same dedication and focus. What a great opportunity to come together and make Thursday Night Impact a dynamic, entertaining weekly event on AMC and AMC Plus starting next month. They go into they got people quoted, various guys lower, but as I mentioned, they talk about all the old people that used to wrestle for TNA. Then they lead off with Matt and Jeff Hardy, Nick and Ryan Nemeth, Frankie Kazarian, Mike Santana, Steve Macklin, and it just goes on from there. So with this, right, I think there's a couple ways to look at it. And for me, a lot of this really comes down to what is the WWE? I keep hearing about how this is great for wrestling, right? This is just this great thing for the pro wrestling business that, more professional wrestling is on television and, people are paying for it and stuff like that. And I'm like, in one sense, I get what they're saying, right? I just happen to think that's misguided because great for professional wrestling for me doesn't sound like more people necessarily just having jobs, right? Because they had jobs, like TNA had jobs, right? Is it going to be good for wrestling, hopefully, if TNA is able to pay Chris Bay's medical bills? That would be good for wrestling. A lot of this stuff I'm hearing is good for TNA. Like this isn't necessarily good for, any of the world if TNA wants to just be the little brother promotion of WWE to artificially suppress wages for wrestlers across the pro wrestling business. I don't know. That don't sound good for wrestling for me if they want to lay down with TKO and basically just operate underneath them, and TKO walks them to their television deal and essentially takes who they want and then dumps off wrestlers probably at a quarter or an eighth of the price, essentially, over in TNA. I don't know, man. I feel like it's kind of not good for wrestling, in a sense.
I mean, do you already feel is that way?
Like as far as
or are you well, what you described, do you think that's the potential, or do you think it's already there?
I think it's already happening.
Okay.
And this only now will come like it will it's a part of a long-term TKO plan, I feel like. And
hold on. I don't mean the suppressing wages thing. I mean like we take Jordan Grace, we take Cardona back, whoever we want, and then we get rid of Ziggler, that's where they go. We get rid of Karrion Kross, that's where they go. You already think it's that?
Oh, I mean there was always kind of some of that there. TNA was like kind of a holding ground, I think, for a lot of these people.
Yeah.
Which is like, in a sense, is like, yeah, there's going to be like more places to wrestle and stuff like that. But like now it feels like there is no, like if TNA doing this kind of independently would kind of change my outlook on it. Like this is just part of the larger avenue to cut more access off, essentially. For, when AEW comes up, or WBD, gets sold to the wrong thing, this is one more place they can't go. WWE is trying to walk people up, essentially, to all these different entities who play nice with them to eventually cut off the real threat. So TNA wants to assist with that. Fuck them. Like that's where I'm at with it.
Okay, I mean, there's only so many places that are gonna get TV and have an amount of money that like AEW Command even post this deal. So like, I'm not really concerned about that in the way that like I don't think that's a bigger potential to be a thing that can happen than as you just stated. So I'm just less concerned about it. Like, I mean, tragedy. People have to be laid to rest for this to be a problem. Come. Was it 4 years from now, 5 years from now, or whatever, or after an acquisition or merger? From in my estimation, I could be wrong, but I'm not that concerned that like, oh my god, they can't get $10 million from AMC. I think their next will be more than $10 million from AMC. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, by the way, you know who owns AMC
No, I don't.
Media Group? The Dolans.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be it's cool. Like, like I said, now they have no excuse to not pay people's medical bills. Now they have, we're gonna see if they the number 2 promotion in America. We're gonna see, in North America. Cause I think I heard somebody say this. If TNA is the number 2 company, right, in North America, I would love to know what these people think of CMLL.
Look, man, they're not even number. You say in North America, they're not even number 4.
Yeah.
You don't think New Japan makes money even still? You don't think New Japan does better than them? Don't they split that? Don't they split that gate for these foreign doors?
Right, got it.
And then
Yeah.
and then they do and then they do these Windy City Riot shits and Capital Law. They still do better than them. So no, they ain't trying to hear that shit. Even with the $10 million they've been getting in plus cash, good for them. Like hopefully they can actually turn this up because like look, there absolutely is enough talent in the world to have TNA be a promotion that people can check out. The problem is it don't work
At
like that.
least,
No. What I'm saying, like, there's not enough attention for it to matter in that way, right? Like, there's never going to be a situation where someone's going to be watching all this shit. Like, even a show like us that used to try to watch as much shit as possible. We never got around to TNA really, except for like back when it was Impact and Slammiversary and that shit. Kenny Omega was champion. That's about it. No,
yeah.
not against them. If they had a great match, they'd be like, "Hey, check this out." And there's 2 people that I cared about, or somebody like Ace Austin was doing something, or whatever else, where he got the AEW. I check it out. Kazarian, I like Kazarian was the AEW. I'd watch him. But like when the stuff you hear about them is like, oh, they're fucking Max. They're trying to they're booking Mike Santana like shit on purpose. They get groundswell support. It's like y'all ain't got enough goddamn support on y'all on to get people to rally to this. Ain't nobody watching shit. They gonna look at this and be like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Goofies,
Yeah.
silly niggas.
Yeah.
So, hey, actually, I got a better one for you. What's Maple Leaf Pro doing?
No idea.
I need to figure that out. I need to check in on that.
Come check it with your boys. But it is, yeah, man. I don't know, man. Like they gotta figure this out. But
should we bring back Caleb Baldwin to do his reporting on TNA? They have a TV deal. Should we bring back the bathtub? Should we bring that shit back so he starts since he used to love to talk about TNA and Impact so much? Bring your ass back, reboot the show, and start covering it weekly.
Like, your podcast is already set up. You start January 16th. You were back on air.
Yes, you got no say in the matter.
It's yours.
We have signed you to a Diddy deal. You won't be doing this shit against your will.
Oh, well, it would be funny if every podcast had to designate, it had to rotate. Be like, yeah, you got the TNA review this week. We outsource this shit. It's like a podcast that don't exist. It's like, this week on the TNA.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Keith got it exactly right. I'm about to say, man. You see, if want to look, he wants to call that shit adventure. You take adventure your ass to TNA.
Yeah, I think if Tono Talk tried to review TNA, I don't know if they would get past the TNA part. Like they would get stuck just on the acronym.
Oh Lord.
Like it would just be jokes for an hour, and they'd be like, "Well, we're out of time,"
I don't put it past them because they're very creative, but I do not think they are collectively horny enough, the 3 of them, to be able to do a show for 45 minutes to an hour about TNA. As far as just puns and funny stuff, I don't think they have that much. I don't think they're that. I don't think it's that far. But let's see.
That was great.
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, we'll see. We'll see what they do. They got a shot. I mean, look, even NWA Power got a run from people.
Yeah,
If you
people
put if you give
tried.
if you sell somebody there's some wrestling going on and they got a new lease on life, people will check it out and it will give you a shot in good faith. It's up to you not to fuck it up.
One other thing I wanted to mention, there's a lot of noise around Chris Jericho, right? And there has been a particular faction willing them and trying to make Y2 TNA Jericho happen. There is one particular faction of people that keep talking about this, keep tweeting about it, keep trying to wish it into existence.
Who?
Yo, WWE Fed loving people, they are terrified of Chris Jericho, James. They want to redirect him to TNA and keep him away because they know he's coming. They know he's coming.
They don't want him in WWE, but they don't want him in AEW, so they ship him off to TNA. Is that what you're saying? Oh man, that's nasty. That's nasty.
They don't want him in the Fed, so they're trying to make it happen. They're trying to will it into existence. No. You are not. You will take the Y2J, the break the walls down. You will take it. You will
I
take
need to
it.
ask you this. I thought about this today, literally today. Let's say Jericho comes out for the Rumble this year. Does Jericho come out and they bringing the walls down, or are they playing Judas?
They're gonna break the walls down.
You don't think Jericho will fight against Judas?
I think they will. Look, it would be a good idea if he used Judas. It just wouldn't make any sense. But
It would. I mean, it would make sense. It's like, hey, this man traveled, all-time legend in WWE. He left and he came back. You can play. Obviously, it's not going to be as big of a deal as Cody coming in, but it's like this person proved something away, and now we're gonna push him to a certain slot because it's WrestleMania season, and we know it. We're no worst case scenario. He gonna give you something up until WrestleMania, and he probably gonna fuck off to go do this tour shit and then come back.
yeah, bro.
And you can't be like, hey, look, bro, I ain't trying to hear that. Y'all like here putting Solo Sokoa on the fans. I ain't trying to hear none of this about Chris Jericho, no Chris Jericho.
Look,
Solo Sokoa's out here
do
in the
what he
streets.
wants. I hope he goes over there and the people that don't enjoy him, I hope he ruins their lives. Like
You mean to tell me that the Chris Jericho LA Knight program wouldn't be fucking awesome in WWE?
Hey. Look, you keep Triple H's hands off that shit. You know you might have something there, James.
You stupid. You're like,
might have something.
I get you say what?
Talk.
I think you're gonna be like, I know what you do. You be like, hey man, you think Triple H really gonna let a Chris Jericho versus The Rock program get off? You think you're gonna step on that shit? That's not what you doing. You nasty for that. Look, Triple H and let some of this stuff go. He gonna be perfectly fine with Chris Jericho being a subordinate. He'll be perfectly fine with him being a subordinate.
He like, you work for me. Like, I can't see Jericho, like, I never could see Jericho wanting to do that before, right? But, you know, I guess things change, money changes.
Things change.
And, you know, look, that beef is still there. It's still there.
Yeah, but, you know, look. He can't, Jericho at this stage of the game. I know over this year he saw Kyle Fletcher and was like, all right, man, I can't. Kevin Knight, it's beyond me, bro. This isn't this. I can't do this no more. I'm gonna take my ass to the senior circuit and I'm gonna go out here and be one of the best of them. You know that. Look, you know that Jericho and Walter match finna go off.
Oh my god,
that shit finna go off. Jericho go out here and go. He gonna look. He gonna get fined. He gonna get fined.
If Jericho comes out here and gives me a 4.5-star match, I'm gonna be unbearable on the timeline. Unbearable, you hear me? I'm going to look. They gonna have to get my account shut down. Like, achieving a 4.5-star match at WWE, that would be like, that's damn near impossible right now. So like,
they don't allow these sorts of things to happen anymore. Only on the rarest of occasion.
Yeah. So keep your eyes peeled.
WWE
For the Jericho stuff.
WWE be treating 4.5 star match like birthday sex. That's how rare that shit is these days.
Once a year, nigga.
That's it.
So
don't be expecting this kind of free shit a week from now. That's all you fucking getting.
So let's talk about our Spotify raps, man.
Shit. Okay, hold on. Yeah, Spotify raps time. Let me pull it up. Oh boy.
Also got the One Nation Radio Spotify Wrapped podcast wrap too. So shout out to all y'all that showed us some love this year.
Yeah,
top 10 show for a lot of people. It looks like, and number 1 show for others.
Shit.
A lot of country. I think I saw like maybe 60 something countries or something. Look, the top 5 artists for One Nation Radio listeners: number 1, Kendrick Lamar; 2, Taylor Swift; 3, The Clips; 4, Drake; 5, Chappell Roan. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Wow. If you listen to One Nation Radio, your number 1 other show is Tunnel Talk. So, truly our sisters.
Rich, can you hear me over the last minute or so? Or no?
I could not hear you. No.
Ah, shit. All right, hold on. All right, I'm about to. All right. Okay. All right. So, who's going first? Me or you?
You go first.
For artists?
Yeah.
Okay. You go, and I'll be right back because I'm using my phone, so I have to X out of the app, and then it's being weird. So,
okay.
You go first, and then I'll find mine and come back.
So, I guess I'll go 5-1. So number 5, Nipsey Hussle. Number 4, La Russell. Number 3, Tom G from Tampa. 2, Kendrick Lamar. And number 1, Tupac. And in that...
All right, Rich. So, number 5 for me, Kendrick Lamar. Number 4, Beyonce. Number 4 was Usher. Number 3 was Beyonce. Number 2 was Kehlani, and number 1 was Chris Brown.
Chris Brown and Tupac.
Now,
imagine them fraudulent game members, making a song together. Them bloods.
Brother, I can tell you this right now. Tupac would have hated Chris Brown, but the thing for me is so this year, basically, outside of listening to albums, I pretty much only listen to my playlist of songs on Spotify and put it on shuffle. So the Kehlani and the Usher and the Beyonce and the Chris Brown is literally all just me basically I got those are people I have most songs for, so they got the most play. And then after that, it's Kendrick Lamar because I'll play, GNX, or I'll play Good Kid, Mad City once a month. So that's what happened there for me. It's kind of actually kind of surprising that a rapper even made my top 5. Knowing how I get down. So yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
Tupac was number 1 for me. I was probably I don't know, maybe around my birthday or in the summer, I was listening to a lot of Tupac for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through deep dive into albums. I was reading this book. Essentially, I was doing a whole bunch of Tupac listening.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 was Kendrick Lamar.
So hold on, before you do that. So I don't know if you had ever really done that before with Tupac. What, after going through that dive, what your opinion of him? How has it changed since going through that deep dive on Tupac?
I would say I think of Tupac as a lot better rapper now than I ever thought of him as. Incredible song maker,
Yeah.
Super prolific. Was very interested in like
Very prolific.
Everybody knows all the big songs or whatever. Like I'm trying
Yeah.
to hear all like the stuff that was like on the 1997 album that dropped right after he died. Some of
Don Clemente, Machiavelli.
no, the Are You Still Down?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Like different stuff like that, and then putting together different other things and these unreleased versions of songs that are on YouTube that they basically put new beats out for, seeking out the originals and shit and hearing them. And I remember he had this song where he was dissing. I don't know if I can play it. I don't. It'll probably get yanked, but it was like talking about Wendy Williams, and it was talking about Biggie, and he was like, this shit was hip hop, until Tupac fucked Biggie's bitch, and then y'all niggas are hypocrites and bitch made, and then like he's just going off, and it's like a sample of the Why You Wanna Hurt Me, and like the Gap Band shit is hard. I found like he had this song called "You Never Had a Friend Like Me." I think it's on the Gridlock soundtrack, and I was like, this nigga was so dope, bro. Like it's like this nigga is everything that a rapper. Like what people love about like you can take a bunch of artists, right, and he's everything. Like
Yeah.
he's all of it. Like it's
Yeah.
like
Because yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no, you're good. Like he's all of it. Like he's like he has songs for the women. Like he has a lot of rap stuff, a lot of more flows than I remembered and stuff like that too.
Yes.
Trying stuff out and very versatile. And it's amazing how his discography kind of morphs, like from the early days. I'm a huge fan of Shock G, and like when he was working with him in the early days, and then it just slowly gets better and better, and it's just undeniable. And then you pair that with his interviews, and it's like, bro, he's like, I don't like. It's hard to say he's the best rapper ever, right? Because
technically he's not there.
I just think there's people that rap better than him, but he's still the best rapper ever. Like it's like with the whole package of everything, and then the nigga was a movie star too. It was like this nigga was the shining sun that was touched on the head or whatever, like to be the leader of that generation of those kids post civil rights or whatever that grew up and this country was still fucked up and fresh off the crack epidemic and everything like that. This nigga was the nigga, bro. Like. And it was just like every time I read a documentary or a book or watch a movie, you just dread when 1996 comes because it was so much more for this nigga to do, bro.
Yeah, like I think the thing for me when it came to Tupac is like, as you mentioned, the interviews. After you watch some of the interviews and you read some of his poetry, it's apparent that like. It's apparent why he blew up the way he did because the main thing is he's not a rapper. He like and I don't mean that in no like Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, he's not a rapper thing. I mean like no, this is a person that was meant to be a public speaker on something different than talking to a microphone and rhyme over a beat. It just so happened that was his outlet, and he happened to like be very charismatic and had a once in a lifetime type of voice, and it worked that way. But the actual like technical functions of like the lyricism, he's not as good lyrically as his contemporaries from that time. But he's a better songwriter than most of them. He was more charismatic than most of them, and one thing that he didn't get enough credit for, especially the Death Row days, he was absolutely sliding on songs. Like, All Eyes on Me, the song, Two American Most Wanted,
Holla at
what's
me,
the other one?
the
Holla at
Candy
Me,
song, the
California Love. Bro,
the
he
fucking,
is,
All About You.
bro, like, you listen to America's One and you hear he's on there with Snoop Dogg and the way he's out rapping Snoop Dogg, and I don't mean he's out rapping him lyrically like hitting you over the head with lyrical miracle. I mean he just sliding all over that beat. It's fucking insane. Like, and then he did the same thing to Dre on. I mean, Dre's not really a rapper, be my point. Like, did the same thing to a quality Dre verse on California Love. And then All Eyes on Me is the same thing. Like, when he's talking about sharpening the motherfucking razor blade, like, oh my God. Like, yeah, he is that guy. But the thing for me is, if you can contextualize to him,
he's got these situations that he raps about too. These real life like relationships with like one of my favorite songs is it's like a B-side on All Eyes on Me. It's like Run the Streets. It's like the chorus is like, you can run the streets with your folks. I'll be waiting for you. And then it's like you do all this shit. Like it's like, hey man, like you got to let me be me still. You know, it's a lot of there's a lot of dope shit there.
Yeah. And he was also good enough, and smart enough to realize that less is more. So he'd be like, "Hey man, I got a hot verse, or I got a hot."
That's how he would get all them songs done.
Or I got a hot 16 or whatever else, and I can split. And I got 8 here and 8 here. I'll let these whack niggas hop on these beats, and I'll come back later. He was real good for like just giving you
put the
one hot verse and getting the fuck out the way, and it'd be the first verse. He made sure to be the first verse. He's like, y'all let outlaws go out here and fuck this beat up, and I'll come back later, or I won't come back at all. But you will definitely remember me killing this beat. So yeah, like I think the main thing for him was like when if you are around for it, you can contextualize what rap was in the mid to early '90s, especially the mid '90s, and you think of him compared to his contemporaries, like. Yeah, you absolutely understand why people held him as, this is the best rapper or the highest rapper or the biggest rapper going at this particular time, regardless if there's a Biggie going on or Nas is around or whoever else you want to throw in there.
He was just
he seemed bigger than rap.
Right. It was like those niggas were in like black and white and he was in full color. Like, like that's the best way to kind of describe it.
Because he could rap about everything those guys could rap about. Plus, there was a humanity and a sincerity to him that other people just did not have at that time. And I think that's the reason why like Kendrick Lamar is kind of the way he is like there's like he'd be like, hey, if you wanted the best rapper you could possibly find, what would you do in an updated version? All right, I give him the humanity of Tupac, and I give him the vocabulary in the pen of Nas. That's kind of what Kendrick Lamar is. That's why he's fucking awesome. So but yeah, like the Pac is just like he just stood out in the way in humanity that like other guys did not have or grasp it, that you could go into these sorts of lanes or whatever, so go in all these certain sorts of directions with storytelling or what have you. And like other people picked up on it, but like I think if you are our age or if you're younger, you don't grasp that until you're like, hey man, you listen to the rest of what rap sounded like at that time. He was different. And I think about that's what a lot of people like, in the coming years, or maybe even it's already here. Early Kanye compared to what rap was then, he just seems like he could go any direction. But he obviously never said to the gangster shit. That wasn't him. But it's like the same thing with Tupac is like Tupac could do that. Tupac could talk about the gangster shit. I'm not saying he was a gangster, but I'm saying he could do that as well as anyone else.
From it, like he was
right.
Of it. He was around it. Like
right. He's not the kid. He's not like Kanye where he's a kid of 2 fucking college professors. He's not a middle class kid.
Yeah, like Tupac was like,
he's an art kid. He's an art kid, but he's not. But similar to Mod Deep, these are art kids, but they not well off.
Right. I was gonna say like they talk about hip hop is the music of the ghetto, right? And it's like there's middle class people, there are poor people, there are lower class people, like. The people that are below the low class, like that's where Tupac was coming from with it. Like Marin City, Baltimore, like, and like basically being this amalgamation of all these regions of black people from the 80s and 90s, that he was the voice. Like he had it here, he had it here with the microphone, like, and it was just like, It's funny you brought up the point like where you said like he was supposed to be a speaker like of some other kind, like, and he just happened to like his medium happened to be rap.
Yeah.
And I listen to Nothing to Lose a lot. Like that's like one of my favorite joints of his, and also It Ain't Easy from Me Against the World album. And I believe it's like a sample of the Drifters Float On. And it's just like, it's talking about life not being easy. And it's like, yo, it's like, he has songs that are like very abstract and colorful, and then songs that are very fucking simple. And it's like,
I think, and also me against Raw, I think that's his best album. I don't think that's not my favorite album. My favorite album is All Out for Me, but I think that's his best album.
Yeah, like there's a lot to Tupac.
Yeah.
Tom G is on my list. Tom G is somebody that is from Tampa. He's like a local legend in the Tampa area.
Legend.
And I worked with Tom G a couple times in the studio. Super cool cat, super down to earth. Like just loves the music, loves the shit turned up loud, super friendly. And I just dove into listening to a lot of Tom shit because I remember a while ago I was like, yo, I've never heard a Tom G song I didn't like or whatever. And then I just started listening to a couple of his albums. He had an album I think was called 16 Summers or whatever. He may have put out in 2020, and he put out a new one I think just recently. And he's got a song called Grown Man on there, a song called Stepdaddy. And the Stepdaddy joint is like amazing. Like video's amazing too.
Okay. He has video to it.
Yeah. And the other one is like actually I Wonder If Heaven Got a Ghetto. It's like a remake of the Tupac Heaven Got a Ghetto song, but it's like updated, like they switched the beat up and all that.
Okay.
It's pretty dope. I would recommend people check out Tom G. La Russell is on my shit. He's dope, independent artist, just makes a million songs about everything. He's like the Gary Vee of rap, in my opinion.
Gary Vee of rap?
Yes.
I need you to elaborate on that. So what's the connection? What's the connection on that one?
So Gary Vee's whole thing is like about like, yo, if I'm trying to do something, right? If I want to reach 500 people, how am I gonna do it? I'm gonna send 1,000 DMs to people a day. Like Russell has like 30 something albums. He all he does is release music, release merch, cut up clips, put them shits up, drop them shits. Like he drops like 6 albums in a year. Oversaturation, what? It doesn't matter. We just keep fucking going, and then like he does all.
The house thing, is that his house or his folks' house or what is it?
It's like his family house. It's called a pergola.
Okay.
And he built this shit in his backyard, and he made it a venue. And he has a lot of pay as you want type of stuff, and he basically made like this visual medium of his stuff. So it was like, say, like going into the pandemic, he was like, before the pandemic happened. It's like, I'm going to start a company that is like a visual company, essentially. I'm going to help basically other artists shoot their shit and get it out. And that kind of floated him as COVID like came or whatever. And people didn't even know he was the artist when they would come in there to work with him and all that. And like, that was like his whole thing. And he's got a real dope spirit about him, and, a lot of good tracks. And Nipsey, I listen to Nip all the time. So my number one song was Who You With by Lil Jon East Side Boys of the year.
What?
Yes. That's why I be listening to. I be working out or doing my fitness test. Who you with?
Hey, man,
ain't too many words. It's just like, hey, let's go. You met her playing 2002 Lil Jon East Side Boys Kings of Croc.
So we did this. Me and his friend group have done this to Rich all the way around this. Like, oh man, that's crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna come right back, but I know I'm looking at my top 5, so I know my number 1 song. I'm looking at the other 5 or the other 4 real quick. Okay?
I'll talk about my others while you do that. So number 2, Freak It by Lathon. That Jermaine Dupri bass joint kind of went viral on TikTok. I was listening to that a bunch while I was driving. I live in Atlanta. You're in the car a lot, so you'll play that a lot. Grind All My Life, always listen to that. Essentially, that's like the new version of Juicy. There's a song by a artist named Jack Marlowe. I believe he's a house DJ. It's called Who Do You? It's pretty dope. And Clips, Mike Tyson, Blow to the Face is number 5.
What was that on your number 5? Okay, so all right. So my number 5. Like I said, I'm just saying this on the front end. Y'all can laugh at me after, but I'm saying on the front end.
Hold on,
I keep my shit on repeat. Ready? I keep my shit on repeat, right? So for some reason, like 3 of these songs are like, so I don't even recall going all the way to play any of these. right? Two of them absolutely, but like three of them, like I don't remember even hearing these songs. So number 5 was BB Rexa in Florida, the Georgia Florida line, where the fuck meant to be, right? I don't know how that ended up on my shit. I don't know how I played that many times, whatever. Number 4 was T-Pain, I'm Sprung Rich.
I had a T-Pain song on my shit too. T-Pain going through a lot. It was further down, but right. T-Pain going through a lot.
I will play T-Pain. I have a problem with playing T-Pain, right? Like I'll play. Look, like I'm surprised that that like the Chris Brown T-Pain Free song ain't on the thing, right? Like, but I don't know how I'm Sprung got on there. So or like or Up Down or whatever else. So anyway, number 3, Paramore, Ain't It Fun? I love that song. That's why I definitely that's one of the greatest songs of this millennium. So I ain't got no shame in that one. That's actually a song on my way and play. Number 2 is Just Glenn Rather Be, which is like I ain't really playing Just Glenn. I know that. Me when that first Just Glenn album came out, me and you played that shit. So I ain't got no problem with that. Number 1 though, so I definitely went on my way and played. Clips, Mike Tyson blows to the face. They said I played that shit 36 times. They said I played that shit 36 times this year. So yeah,
I love it.
That was my absolute that was absolutely my favorite song of the year. That hypnotizing, entrancing.
Yo, yeah, I dropped. I copied the link off of it and basically generated my playlist. I put my 2025 list in the One Nation Radio Discord. If you guys want to save that, it should be made public. Like you should be able to just do that and save it if you want. Listen to the stuff that I was listening to all year. A lot of different stuff on there. I guess I'll go through it. From there was Euphoria, Burning Heart, Peekaboo, Party on the West Side, La Russell, Family Ties, Baby Keem, Future and Gunna for a Nut, Joyner Lucas, One of Them, Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queen, Bananarama, Cruel Summer, Tom G, Tore Down the Projects, Heavy D and the Boys, None But Love, Madonna, Holiday, SOS Band, No One's Gonna Love You, Tom G, Heaven's Got a Ghetto, Switch, Fallen, Madonna, Into the Groove, Rich Latta, Jumping Out the Gym, Tupac, It Ain't Easy, Stun of Sandy, BBC, Stepdaddy, Tom G, Kendrick Lamar, TV Off, D4L, I'm the Man, Rocky soundtrack, Hearts on Fire, Kendrick Lamar, Dodger Blue, Tupac, Never Had a Friend Like Me, Tupac, Nothing to Lose, Tampa artist, Jordan Patrick, Slide, Deacon Yulee, Gonna Feel Me, a local Atlanta artist, Jello, Tweaker, Tupac, Hail Mary, Pastor Troy, Champion, Massaging Me, Future, Metro Boomin and Young Dro, Stealing All the Swag, Too Easy, the Lee Johnson theme that I did with Mikey Ruckus, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, Tupac, Holla at Me, Nipsey Hussle, Last Time I Checked, Central C, One by One, Tom G, Bag Religious, Janet Jackson, Go Deep, Tyler the Creator, Ring Ring Ring, Gwen Guthrie, Padlock, Kendrick Lamar, Hey Now, Squabble Up, Sade, Kiss of Life, Machiavelli, To Live and Die in L.A., Tupac, Against All Odds, Youngbloods, Chop Chop, D'Angelo, Jones in My Bones, Trick Daddy, Can't Fuck With Me or the South, Jeezy, Trap or Die. I'm shocked Jeezy didn't end up in my top 5. All the Jeezy I listen to while I'm in the gym.
Speaking of Jeezy, also, because you mentioned Trick Daddy Can't Fuck With the South, hey, that might be Sarah's favorite song. Yes. But anyway,
yeah,
that might be Sarah's favorite. And it's hilarious every time it comes, she'd lose her mind. But yeah, so you mentioned Jeezy. So no, I'm only going to I'm going to get out of the way after I give my favorite, or most of the 2 albums of the year. Number 5, the Beyonce Cowboy Carter. Because this was actually, you're actually listening to it. Because I was like, I ain't listened to it when it first came out. I was like, I don't want to be stuck around the hype of all of it. But I did enjoy the album. It's still her worst album of the last, since 2013. But it's still a good album. It is crazy she won Album of the Year Grammy with this album. Okay. Number 4.
I did not say nothing about that. Y'all direct all to the Beehive if y'all find this. That was James that said that.
What? Ain't nobody get mad at me. You know what the Beyonce fans also think? The same exact fucking thing. Like they're like, yes, Cowboy Carter is not better than Lemonade or Renaissance or the Beyonce self-titled album. They all would agree. Yeah. So yeah. And you know how I know this? Because I'm a fucking Beyonce fan. So anyway, number 4, Calvin Harris, the Future Bounce Wave, Volume 1. that came out about a decade ago. But I had like the Frank Ocean and Migos, had the Pharrell and Big Sean and Katy Perry, had the Kehlani and Yachty, like had the Schoolboy Q song that sounded like some Snoop Dogg, that sounded like some Dr. Dre Chronic shit with the bass player on there. That album's awesome. So I played it like every blue moon. I'll play the whole thing through. That has no skips on it for me. So number 3, as you mentioned with Jeezy, Thug Motivation 101, number
Bro,
3.
I play so much Thug Motivation 101 while I'm in the gym. I'm shocked. Like, or the first 3 albums, pretty much anything off of that. G's like to drink, G's like to smoke, like all that shit. Like I meant to ask you about that. I was like, bro, like you've been around football teams and shit, like and been in the weight room and shit, bro. Do anything set that shit off more than Jeezy?
I mean, back then Jeezy would have been big in during my like senior and junior year of high school. Would have been big, but I went to a white high school, so it was playing Metallica or playing the classic rock station. But yeah, it would have been a lot of like Lil Jon and the East Side Boys and Jeezy. It would have been back then if it were allowed. So Pastor Troy as well. Pastor Troy would have been good. Would have been a good one.
Got some Pastor on my shit.
Yeah, so I actually listened to Vice Versa the other day. Actually, it was on my list. So then number 2 for me was GNX, and number 1 was, of course, Let God Sort Them Out, Clips. So yeah, and like, I mean, it's kind of funny because like you look at our previous, we talked about this with our raps or whatever else. For me, like it constantly R&B dominated, but literally like Clips and Kendrick Lamar over the last 2 years with their albums that got me to actually check in on some rap.
So you gotta take it back. You gotta take it back in reverse.
I mean, look. I mean, only Kendrick Lamar made my top artist. Everything else was like Beyonce and Usher and Chris Brown and who else? I can't remember who the person was, but like it's bunch of R&B mostly still. But yeah, like it's interesting to look at the list and like. I think when I saw the thing, because they had this new thing about like being able to see what your musical age is, whatever else.
Yeah,
like I turned 38, I was 36.
Really, mine was 48.
Well, I mean, you mentioned like the Sade, so like me mostly, I'm mostly only listening to like
I'm listening.
I'm not listening
and shit. So,
like, I'm not listening like if I listen to like Prince or Michael Jackson, like it's mostly only coming off of my hard drive. I'm not listening to it on Spotify, so that would have skewed me older.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah. Interesting. But did drop that playlist. Got some Gates on there. Got some Tribe, Big Timers, of course. Sam Gellatry. Well, it was Glenn Fry, MC Bree, Juicy J, Ja Rule.
What Ja Rule?
Holla.
Okay.
So, yeah, we've gone kind of long without talking about any wrestling. This might be the wrestling-free episode, man. Because like I know y'all want to hear AEW talk.
I know we're like 2 hours into the show now, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, we do a quick little pass through the show. The show is just like tournament matches.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that every fucking tournament match was awesome. Like the C2 is the best thing in this company right now.
Yep.
I thought Eddie Kingston and Samoa Joe was largely underwhelming. I thought it was a much worse version of what CM Punk and Eddie Kingston tried.
I thought the same thing.
And I was like, this just tonally feels wrong. And speaking of tonally feeling wrong, the women's tag match, I thought it was okay for what they did, but like I thought going back to Blood and Guts, they had something special in that cage that night. The way they finished that match, it was hot. They had heat, and then what they did was just made it a goofy match, kind of with all the holiday weapons and stuff. They turned that shit up in the cage where it looked like new stars were born, and I think they fucked it up.
Yeah, I feel like they fucked it up, and I fucked it up because like they made the spots and the weapons and stuff they didn't make it count. Like they were so quick to move on to the next thing so fast. Like there was a point where like they have the fake barbed wire around the candy cane thing, and like before we get to that point, Tony bashes a beer bottle over Marina's head. She blades, right? The handle stays in her hand. She then stabs Megan Bain in her head, not a drop of blood. I was like, then why even do it?
Yeah, I didn't
And,
like it.
and that was just one of like five things happening in that match where it's like the spot is cool, but you're not doing the things that you're going by it so fast, you're yada past it, get to the next thing without actually like taking your time to be like, this is painful. And it was like it was very like this shouldn't have been y'all shouldn't have did this match. Y'all should have did this match. This should have been a regular match if y'all were gonna do all this shit. It just zoomed past it like it didn't matter that you just did the shit. And like it wasn't the same thing as like you're doing spots too fast, slow down and sell, kid. It was a nah, man. It's a disconnect.
The tone
Like
was all off.
Yeah, you didn't see the wares of battle.
Yeah.
You didn't, or let me phrase, you didn't feel the wares of battle while watching. And then like I look at the cage match right after that, I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not the only person that felt that way.
Kyle Fletcher and Kevin Knight wiped their ass with the ESPN 30 for under 30 list. This nigga Kevin Knight is going to be look, he's going as far as he wants to go. It's like that nigga's out of this world, bro. And Fletcher like that sequence of like all those like pinfalls where you thought it was over, it just kept like they peaked the match perfect. And it's like these niggas wrestle in a way where when you hear somebody like Mark Henry say it's gonna take niggas 15 years to go to the top, they're gonna say, no nigga, they told you that because your ass sucked, nigga. That's why. Those niggas, that shit don't apply.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, I said these before. Like, my pick for MVP for Turner is gonna be Fletcher. Like, I look at this raw. I looked at the lineup he has. Like, he's gonna have a great match with every single person on this thing. And if you don't, it's because it ain't gonna be for lack of trying. And he's already 2 for 2. Like, this dude, they were absolutely right to get the TNT title off him because he needs to be in the main event scene within the next year. It needs to happen. Like, the dude's too fucking talented, and he looks how he looks. And he has the act, and he's done the stuff. Yeah. He's him. He gonna be him.
Twan Mac, do y'all think Don Callis gets way too much TV time? I have Callis fatigue. He does get a lot of TV time
on this show. Yes.
Too much is subjective. The thing is, Don Callis does a good job, so it's like you can always put a mic in his hand, whether it's commentary or anything like that. The only thing is, I do agree with the fatigue stuff as far as when it comes to Kenny Omega. The Kenny Omega and Don Callis shit it's just been going on far too long. Like, and I don't know if it's protection for Kenny, or what. If he can't do much more or whatever, it's like an overarching thing. You just keep him there, but. That whole run-in they had him and Okada face off and shit. And then, bro, when he was going back to do the V-trigger and Okada rolled out the ring, I saw that shit and I was like, man, Okada said, man, I done seen this shit before. No, I know what's coming. I'm rolling off this bitch. Oh, man.
I mean, and my thing was also like, I thought it'd be more dramatic. Like the ending of the partnership and friendship between the Young Bucks and Omega. I'm sorry, Young Bucks and Okada. Then just the end of a little in a running brawl out thing. It wouldn't. I thought they could have did more.
Bro, when that crowd was chanting for Kenny Omega and then that Jungle Boy music hit, that they got anti-pop. I was like, oh my god, like that shit was painful to see how they set that shit up. What else? Hook, bro. Hook. I don't know if you've seen the interview part where this nigga they basically spell out.
They let him get out 2 lines and they immediately just handed it over to Hobbs. Yes, I saw. Yeah.
Boy, it's gonna be a struggle, dog. It's gonna be a struggle. There's a promo that they shot with him on a rooftop, and where he explains everything, and it sounds like. I put a message in the Discord where I was like, yeah, dog, Hook talks like a boxer that's in the middle of a boxing movie that is like the guy that gets knocked out on the way before like the main protagonist goes to fight the real villain. Like he sounds like the 2/5 of the way of the movie, the 40% through. You see him. Oh shit! Our hero actually. Right, yeah. Our hero actually has some skills. He knocked this fucking dweeb out. Like that's what Hook is.
Yeah. I feel like you're giving him more credit than he deserves by saying that. But yeah, like that dude, like the idea that and they cut to him with Hangman Page said exactly that makes it even worse. You buried him with the truth.
Like Heyman, like I can't believe he looked as incredulous about the shit as the audience is. Good, maybe that guy Heyman is a good actor. I saw the run-in that they did with Hangman and saw the reaction. It felt like a little bit of shine was off Hangman for me. And it was just like, I don't know if it's just one building, or whatever. But it just felt like, we'll see.
Did you hear the cheese? You hear cheese? You're like, who will be with me. He did everything, but he did everything would be like, Swerve Strickland will be tagged with me the first time ever to be there and watch us. Please, please, please watch us. I know small town Indiana. Yeah.
I will be there in person next week when that happens. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So I guess we should probably talk about that. So next week, I will be on the road on Thursday, traveling to Florida. So I will not be on One Nation Radio on Thursday next week. I don't know, James, if you wanted to drop a solo before. I'm coming down to do FOH.
I'll probably record something and put it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be a solo James probably next week. And
sorry, y'all, in advance.
Yeah. And then we're doing FOH Saturday. We're recording. We're trying to figure out if we're going to do some type of streaming, like private stream or something for that. You guys let us know what you would be interested in doing for that. Like come to the FOH channel, see what we can figure out. I'm going to Dynamite next week, so unfortunately there won't be maybe I'll figure out some kind of review as well too, like because I'm gonna bring my equipment with me and all that, so we'll figure it out. Like even if it's like something during the day or I don't know, like I call in or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then we'll figure it out. But so what was and then also the Dark Order versus
a nothing match.
The Ops.
I saw that. I was like, John Silver's 100 times the wrestler Hook is. Like,
yes. Reynolds too.
Yeah.
Right. And like the whole setup was like, we're gonna beat up your friends, but like they're not friends anymore. Last time we saw Adam Page on screen with EM is when he went out there and attacked Evil Uno for daring to be put into the Owen or whatever tournament and got in Heyman's way while he was trying to define himself as a bad guy. So like, no, they're not on good terms. He's a dick. He was an abusive dick to them last time they saw him. And then like they meet each other in the back and they're like, just stay out of our way. And he's like, look, fine, I'll stay out your way, but after this match, the ass is mine. And he proceeded after they kicked Dark Order's ass. He proceeded to come out there with the chain and whoop all them ass, and also the security guys and some of the ops dojo guys, whatever else. He didn't go and check on Silver, Reynolds, or Uno. So it's like, yeah, so much for pulling on Heyman Page's heartstrings. He didn't give a fuck about them guys. Great.
Yeah.
This is going swimmingly. This is going so well for all parties involved.
I don't know what like, bro. There's I feel like there's a lot around the corner. They announced the there's a Diamond Battle Royal, Diamond Ring shit happening, and they get a shot on January 14th. To my knowledge, I thought MJF already had a title shot he could pull out of his back pocket. So something weird is afoot right now.
I don't know. But I mean, I said this to you at some point in the last few weeks. Like, MJF got to come back because he got to defend that fucking ring at some point. So like, when is that? When is he coming back? And now we have our answer. So cool.
Yeah. LeBron
Um,
James' 10-point streak ended tonight, but he passed the ball, and Rui Hachimura hit a game winner.
who are they playing?
The Raptors.
Okay.
Austin Reeves had 44.
Hey, bro, the Raptors are like the 2 seed in the East right now.
I know. Brandon Ingram
That's
getting busy.
yeah. We'll see him in the playoffs because last time we saw him in the playoffs, he was definitely not getting busy. So yeah, I guess I think the only other thing to talk about on Dynamite would have been the main
Ball
event,
on ball.
Moxley and ball on ball with a ball roughing. Ringsberg was in there. Yeah. So yeah, like it was, Claudio versus Moxley, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if Marina just forgot she was supposed to be out there, but like she was out there for a minute, and then eventually like Daniel's submission on commentary, and she was out there. And then as soon as he mentioned it, like you can see Rinsberg like turn around 160 and be like, "Go!" And it was like, I wonder if she just forgot she was supposed to be out here for a Continental Classic match, and then like they had
Yeah.
to, and the Gorilla had to notify her, "Hey, get her the fuck out of here." But like once she stayed there, I was like, oh, it's finna go down Nash for Moxley. Moxley finna get done in by Marina, and that's gonna be how he done. The match was great. Love the match. Moxley bled very profusely. And Claudio won with just a charging European uppercut, which was surprising. I thought they were gonna go something a little more in depth, but got the win. And after the match, I was waiting for it to happen. I was waiting for them, thumbs down, no confidence. They finna stomp him out, but they went to dark, and I was surprised, but I was kind of like, damn, that would have been a big deal if like that had happened there. Moxley got to figure it out the rest of this tournament to get back to Claudio in the at some point, but they're putting a pin into it. I hope for their sake they know it. Like people want this Moxley beat down and whooping out of Death Riders. I hope they know that. I hope they know what they're doing. I hope that one like they just teased it. They realized it was teasing it.
Yeah. In the post match, them niggas doing push ups together and shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah, they had the camera on so long. Marina her arms started getting tired. She had to stop. I was like, y'all assholes, y'all dicks.
Yeah.
Y'all know damn well that women do not have the musculature above the waist to match with a man doing as many push-ups as they doing. They's assholes for that.
Look,
they had her out there doing push-ups for like 2 straight minutes. I'm like, man, this is nasty.
Yeah,
Y'all out here got her doing a part of Murph.
I see they ain't try to do it with no squats though. I know
Exactly.
they ain't do that.
She would have competed then.
Right.
They ain't want that. They ain't want
I
that.
remember one time at Beast, it was like me and like maybe like 2 other girls and another guy. And it was like basically it was like sit-ups until like as many sit-ups as you could do or some shit like that. I did 107 sit-ups and then like or not sit-ups, squats in a row. And then I was done. It was like straight spaghetti legs, and I look over and it's like it's 2 girls still going just up and down. I'm like, ain't got it in me, coach. And that was like probably when I was in as good a shape as I probably was. It was like I hit 107 squats like unbroken.
Yeah, man. If that happened to me, I would have like had to grab a kettlebell. If I had did 100 straight air squats in a row, I would have to go after I was done that workout. I had to go find a kettlebell and literally lay my quad into it against the ground to try to unlock my muscle being that tightened up. Nope, not doing it. Nah, I'm good. No, thank you. That sucks. Yeah, man. But yeah, like I thought, the two big matches were great, and the rest was, it was kind of just there. But but the tournament ain't missing. The tournament is fun. Like
Yeah,
even the collision
C2's
matches look like
off the hook.
even like who was it? It was um Mike Bailey on Collision on Thanksgiving night. That match was really good too. Yeah, it's been a really good tournament. Like there has not been a match that wasn't at the worst very, very good so far. So, and I think what's next week? It's Okada versus not Pac. That was on this show.
Moxley and Takeshita on Collision.
Yes, that's what it is. I was thinking of Moxley and Kiffin. Yeah,
they're doing Roger Strong and Orange Cassidy, and then
yes, that backstage promo with the collaboration was kind of. I think they have added one person too many when it came to conglomeration. Like I don't know if she's actually in it, but like I think Harley might be one person too many in conglomeration. I'm willing to get. I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt and give her more chances around this cast of characters, but like it just the magic wasn't there that it normally is with the awkwardness and the kind of pluckiness of it, and it don't make no sense because she should fit right in with them, but she needs more opportunities to play off of them. That's all I'll say for now. If that's where they're going to keep her with Willow.
Tag title tournament final. We got the babyface final. I didn't think they were going to do that, but better for them on doing it. What else?
I mean, maybe they actually were going to go with Triangle. What's the name of Julia Hart and Sky Blue's team?
Sisters of Sin.
Maybe that was a choice. They were like in the middle of the match. Were like audible. We can't be leaving them out there with them two. We got to have Willow in here at least.
Yeah. They're setting up something with Tekla and Chris Statlander, and then also like seemingly Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander in the long run. Sign me up.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it for that because when Tekla debuted by attacking Jamie Hayter, they finally got back to it after months, and then they did Blood and Guts. And there's been times where like Jamie Hayter and Statler have made eyes at each other, which they decide to up, be like, hey, who got the bigger guns? I'm cool with that. So I'm ready to see them thump at some point. So yeah, I'm fine with that. Just I'm fine with those programs. I just figure out just like how do you get the intrigue for those as opposed to to make it entertaining, get the build anticipation for those matches because I know I'm gonna like those matches whenever they happen.
Yeah,
those are good matches to do.
Trying to think what else. Oh, FTR Dax Harwood should never wear those glasses again. He looks like he's 175 years old.
I actually like it because it adds to the bullshit they're doing. It makes them more hateable. They're so good right now.
Whose uncle is this? I was like, whose uncle is this on here?
Oh, okay. He's definitely down that stash, right?
He gotta be.
Yeah, he down that stash. He's down that stash.
Is that official? Was that Myron that commented that, or Netflix is purchasing Warner Brothers?
We'll see.
Yeah, I guess we will see. But yeah. Besides that, I guess we can wrap it up. We will talk to you guys soon. As I mentioned, FOH getting recorded and all that. And remember, FOH is our paid show. It is pay as you wish for it. And we're going to have, it's the wildest show of the year. We are having spirits. We'll be drinking liquor, alcoholic beverages during this. And wilding out. I started writing the FOH big board in my phone today. But add some more stuff and throw it to you guys. See if you guys want to add anything to it. And we'll have a nice host of topics. And thank you guys all for writing different stuff in the Discord throughout the year. And but man, there's a lot I got written down. I don't even really want to get mad at anything this year. I always get mad about something. I don't know what it'll be.
There's always something.
But there's a couple I got my eye on where I'm like, yeah.
Then bringing Brock back is nasty. Fucking up John Cena's retirement tour is nasty. Yeah, there's a few things. Yeah. Hook. Ooh, this Hook push. That's yeah. Like fucking up
Hulk Hogan.
Adam Page's potential. Yeah, fucking up Hangman Page's potential ace title run for Hook is just absolutely not. Yep. You out your damn mind, Tony Khan.
CM Punk and AJ Lee. Triple H, Copeland.
Is this the first time we talk about CM Punk in this show?
CM Punk has gotten FOH a few times.
No. I mean, like on this particular episode of One Nation Radio.
Yes.
This is real shit. Yeah, you heard about it. You heard that Larry died.
I did.
Yeah, it sucks. I wasn't even. I wasn't even trying to make a joke. I just like it sucks that the dog died. It's like that dog. Like, look, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega thought that dog was special. He tried to protect that dog. He got fucking bit for it.
Super Saver Dog. See. Yeah. That. I'm afraid what they're gonna do with the dog now, James.
What you mean?
They was already putting the dog on T-shirts while it was alive, James. What they gonna do now, James? Are they gonna worship the dog?
Worship the. I don't know what they're gonna do with the dog, man. But all I'm gonna say this right now is like, are
they gonna do a 10-bell salute for the dog? Someone who has had WWE merchandise pressed up for him.
I don't think they'll do a 10-bell salute for Larry, but I'm pretty sure they'll do a 10-bell salute for Pharaoh. They love that dog. But yeah, like I in my mind I was thinking to myself like, how is Drew McIntyre going to shit on CM Punk's dead dog to get over like on air? How's that going to happen? Like, what's he going to do? But I ain't heard about it yet. But
that was off limits.
It might be. Yeah. Like if you do this, you can't ever be a big face. No, he do that. He do that for Heat. He all the time. I'm saying like,
don't do an angle based on this fucking dog. I'm gonna be disappointed in him.
That's a good point. That's a good point,
Mr.
That's
Old
a good
School. Point. Get some heat.
It ain't nothing like heat on a dog or heat off a dog.
Whenever we talk about heat on a dog on this show, it's amazing. Yo,
man,
heat on the dog, man. Yeah, he got to do an angle with the dog. I think I saw a picture of him. He was wearing the Larry's dad on the jacket. Bro, Survivor Series was last week. We didn't even talk about that shit.
It was a bad show. Why are we talking about it? It was a bad show with two bad war games.
Triple H.
It's a format show. It's a format show yeah, man, I ain't talking about that shit.
That Triple H, Paul Levesque pay-per-views. She's his ass.
They had what? 2 good pay-per-views this whole year? 2?
Maybe.
Okay, like WrestleMania was at night 1 was the best week, or right? No. Night 1 wasn't the best. Wasn't the best one.
That one was better, but they were both bad.
Okay, fair enough. Evolution was good. And there's one I think I'm forgetting, but yeah, everything else has not been good. What was the show that had this John Cena? SummerSlam, right? John Cena with a good John Cena and Cody match, right?
SummerSlam was very bad outside of the John Cena and Cody match. Yep.
See, okay.
Yeah,
but look, that at least that's true to WWE Rooster pay-per-view. Have bad undercard and have someone Austin or Rock or Triple H or Angle that's awesome, and you be like, hey, he rocking. Oh man! All right,
look what they've done. Look what they've done. But yeah, so like this month is gonna.
When they gonna get the Gunther in Dragunov on the mainstream? I need the mainstream to see that. But there's still time.
They ain't really interested in that. There's people currently like rebelling against the thought of Gunther retiring John Cena. I'm like, there's no one better. Like,
the best match guy in the history of the company is going to retire John Cena. How dare they? You fucking dorks! Like,
oh man.
Like, that's how it's supposed to end. The baby is supposed to lose to Bane. Batman's gonna get his back broken by Bane. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Like Johnson, like, look, you know what? You know how Danielson went out? He got fucking beat, but he got beat by a person that betrayed him, and then his whole group suffocated him on the way out. It's supposed to feel tragic and bad, and you're supposed to feel wrong. You're supposed to wish there's something left for him, or the Sting. Those are the only two ways wants to go. Either to max to max out the feeling. Either like he goes out on top or he goes out on the sword to a bad motherfucker. That's how it's supposed to go. One or two ways.
Damn it. Doc tagged me in the Discord. We talked at the beginning about Shane's song. He was like, Shane's song's in the outworld now. God damn.
That's fucked up.
I love Doc.
That's fucked up.
Good guy. Oh, man. I guess we can wrap it up.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. If you are watching from the stream, be sure to go to the shows on the podcast. What's up, and go to the wrestling link. You can donate there, and be sure to listen to other shows on the network. Besides Motion Radio, you have Keepin It Strong Style, All Things Elite, AEW Match Guide, Imps Adventures, Tunnel Talk, the Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast, AEW Match Guide if I didn't say that already, and Wrestling Art with Chris Things. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.